The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
That's right. It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. We're here live here on Circle Mid Podcast, episode 120. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in action here. Señoras y señores, bienvenido a Circle About this 120 capítulo. The TV's one I've been seeing here with mi familia, with the greatest faction of all time, the fellow five horsemen, but we're four right now. That is, ladies and gentlemen. And let me go ahead and introduce mi familia, my blood and mi sangre, blood in, blood out. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me some choncho.
Oh no, but you don't want choncho from Mr. 69 because he is the That is right, the invincible hand of podcasting, Mr. 69 himself. With a nice
Page here.
Oh, yes, say hello. That
Page here. I was thinking of wearing like dark lipstick and dark eye makeup just for this episode.
No, he didn't.
I got some Blackcraft merch in the back. I could pop that on, be on brand.
We do the whole thing. thing. You know, once we get to it, I've got some more fun stuff to add to that. Page here.
Okay. More fun stuff with this man, because this man has been everywhere back in time and in this current time, and he does not need wheels to prove it. So I'll let the intro speak for himself.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88. Roads? Well, we're going. We don't need roads.
That is right. You don't need roads with this man right here, ladies and gentlemen. Are the hosts, Wrestling Delorean host, and of course, Circle Bay host, Mike Danielson.
What's good? Mr. Road? No roads necessary.
No roads necessary, especially with this guy. You don't need no roads with the host with the most, taking you to coast, because he's doing this. No, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only, el director, the director himself, Chris Kevin. He's blowing kisses to everybody for all the audio.
I got nothing. Yeah, this is an audio platform too. How about that?
Yeah, for audio platform.
Everyone at home on the like, is he mute?
No. Is he muted? Did he just put a cardboard of himself right there, like acting he's there? Well, before we start, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, for all you men and women out there, make sure, get your Manscaped, merchandise, of course, manscaped.com. You want 20% off, make sure you put the code right here, DeLorean. Make sure you get that. And also for all our audio platform listeners, get all your Manscaped merch, and especially down there, you want to keep it nice and fresh. For all the women out there, and especially throughout the summer, and I know, winter's coming, so I get it, but yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody, make sure you use the promo code DeLorean. 20% off site-wide, no matter what it is. It could be the most expensive thing, the most cheapest thing. You'll still get 20%. So use the promo code DeLorean. I appreciate that.
We are living in a time where you can use a waterproof, glow-in-the-dark, laser-guided ball shaver in the shower, and I'm here for it.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Hey, and don't sleep on the ball deodorant, Tony.
I have nicked a sack of many a 2 times and not want to try that out. So
the weed whacker. No, that's the lawnmower actually.
4.0, right? We're up to
4.0.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out,
Randy
Dom.
said too hot.
Let's start this off real quick with do not spoil Rampage. We do not want any comments spoiling Rampage. So if you're in the chat right now, you know what not to talk about. Rampage. Don't do it.
No, don't do it, because we're not here to talk about Rampage, and do not spoil Rampage, because we want to see it with Matt Callis tomorrow, and I want to get his reaction. So make sure you do not spoil it. But we're here to talk about Dynamite. That is right. We're here to talk about Dynamite Grand Slam. Grand Slam.
Not at Denny's.
No, not all.
Not on your
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
That's right. Denny's, sponsor us, damn it. There you go. I need grandson every morning with a cup of coffee.
They closed the closest Denny's to me. I'm so sad. The other one is like 2 hours away.
Oh, wow. No.
I've got a 24-hour Denny's every 2 blocks for like 27 states.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. When I went to Cali, I was like, there's Denny's everywhere. In Staten Island, there's like one on the island. The next one's in Jersey. Like,
Jesus
bullshit.
Christ. And no one's going to Jersey.
Hell no.
No,
no offense to Jersey.
No offense to Jersey.
All offense to Jersey.
All offense to Jersey.
All right, let's get into the first matchup here for Grand Slam. And like what I wanted to say, even though before
I'm so excited.
I
love talking about AEW.
Okay, fine.
There's a lot of Ned Flanders moments last night.
Yes. There's a lot of Ned Flanders here. I've been getting goosebumps already. Just I want to talk about it. But before we do, I know people in the attendance, it was less than 13,000. People were, bashing it about it, but people showed up. Not only that, but the viewership hit 1.3 mil for Grand Slam, and the demographics again, once again, number one for the 18 and the 49. So, regardless of what without the Elite and Mr. Punk himself, AEW is doing fantastic without him. So, I mean, I'm glad that people are taking the initiative of making the product moving forward instead of worrying about the turmoil that happened a few weeks. But we're not here to talk about that shit. We're here to talk about it.
I'm stoked on that news. I like that the viewership is where it is. It's unfortunate that it's without the Elite because for CM Punk, you don't go here. So you can come in with that bad voodoo, picking all the kids who started that shit and bounce on me because you're toxic. We don't need you.
There you go.
Word.
Word. Facts right there from the director himself.
I'm just saying, you can't come into a new school like that and clown on the kids running it like that. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. It's a work, baby. It's all work.
Everybody's saying it's a work.
Work.
Anything for Kenny. I'm treating his bite marks as we speak.
I know you are. I know you're treating him for sure. You're pampering him. That's why you got your haircut. No wonder. I kind of figured that already. Let's get into the Ring of Honor World Championship, the opening matchup for Grand Slam. And everybody did not expect this, but of course, Chris Jericho is now your numero 8 world champion and the first time ever holding a Ring of Honor World title as he defeated Claudio Castagnoli. And I wanted to just digress very brief before I pass it around to me, hermanos. I enjoyed it. It was a great, fantastic, great opening. Jericho, I know he's going to be hurting in the morning because the things that he did in this match, acted like he was like 27, 28 once again.
He's 50 years old.
And he's 50 years old. And he did it again. And, man, I was stoked to see Jericho. But one thing I can tell that Jericho, I think he got winded out of was that powerbomb that Castagnoli gave him. And it looked really, really tough. I'm like, oh, I even cringed just watching that. Even the Carolina kind of screamed a little bit because I thought Jericho was going to hit his head. I'm glad he did it. That Frankensteiner off the top rope. But I mean, I'm happy overall.
So that was a clean. I did not see that coming. It was so fucking clean.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was really happy. So I wasn't disappointed. But all I can tell you is that a lot of people were, but we'll get into that 2-part question, which I'm going to ask it now. So thoughts about the match and thoughts of now Jericho being the Ring of Honor World title, champion. Is this the right move for Ring of Honor coming soon? So I will take it to De Niro. Talk to me, Pepe. Talk to me.
I don't even know if Ring of Honor is coming soon. Like, there's still no announcement on what the future of Ring of Honor holds. But if it is coming soon, then I think that Jericho being the champion is going to bring a lot of eyes to the product. Even though Ring of Honor has been around for 20 years, for the casual wrestling fans, it's still relatively unknown. So if you tell me that Ring of Honor is going to be on TV and I go tell some friends who maybe only know WWE and they ask me, oh, well, who's in Ring of Honor? And I say, well, their champion is Chris Jericho, then maybe they'll tune in. Kind of like what AEW did, putting the title on Jericho to start out the whole company when they went to TV. I'm not mad at it. I wish that Claudio would have gotten a reign on TV as the top guy. in Ring of Honor because he definitely deserves that. And I see him getting that title back in the future. But I just really want this Ring of Honor title to feel like the Ring of Honor World Champion. One of the most prestigious belts in wrestling is just another title on AEW. But if it's a Ring of Honor show, it will be the top title. So I just think that all this really is just like back and forth with a title that doesn't mean much until they get the show. So hopefully that's on the verge of being announced. I said on the Wrestling Delorean, I said, they could utilize until they get to maybe a TBS or a TNT. They should be utilizing Ring of Honor on YouTube or on Fight TV. Like, just get the show up and running because right now with all the Ring of Honor titles on AEW, it's a lot of titles to keep up with. So, yeah, I mean, the matchup itself was phenomenal. Amazing matchup. And it wasn't just this matchup. Chris Jericho has been putting on bangers. His matchup at All Out with Brian Danielson was amazing. The match with Moxley when he was Lionheart was amazing. So, for sure, I mean, I think that you got to reward the guy for going at the pace he's going at this age. So, I'm not mad at him being champion.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Matt Callis.
I think one of the main things to see here is like I've always imagined like I think Chris Jericho has, I think except for the ECW championship, has held every single like I guess major championship from the world championship from the 90s. Because if you count that WCW reign during the Invasion angle, he has had that WCW championship. If you count,
undisputed belt was combining the two.
Yeah, so, and the undisputed belt was combining the two as well.
It absolutely counts.
He held the WCW title for a time when he was feuding with The Rock. It was kind of like an internal feud, like we need The Rock and Jericho to get along if we want to defeat the Alliance. And then Jericho took the WCW title off of The Rock after The Rock beat Booker T. So the ECW championship is like the only one, I guess, like major title from the 90s he hasn't won, or I guess there's also the TNA, but that
he was ECW television champion. I know a lot of diehard ECW fans, Chris maybe will attest to this, would say that the ECW television title was almost on par with the world title because of how the champions like held that title, but not the world champion.
And I guess another thing is that a lot of people do consider Ring of Honor the spiritual successor of ECW for a time being. Right now, it's kind of GCW's kind of filled that role in a way with running the Hammerstein. But I think I always imagined like with the comeback, and I wanted Ring of Honor and AEW to do kind of like if Ring of Honor never went out of business, I was hoping they would have like a big business partnership. And this guys, the disclaimer, this is 2018 Matthew speaking. So 2018 Matthew was thinking, man, Marty Scurll versus Chris Jericho in Ring of Honor, that would be so cool. And then Jericho could hold the Ring of Honor title and just add more prestige to it. He could be heel, he could be babyface. It doesn't matter as long as the good thing about Jericho holding any title is the people challenging him for it would elevate them and elevate the title at the same time. So him winning unclean is a very like Flair-esque thing, and the finish of this match was very Naito-esque because he used the same finish from his trilogy with Naito, the kick in the nuts, push the referee. The only thing
was that a Dominion or
Dominion?
Dominion, right? I knew it. Okay.
He tried to do it again at Wrestle Kingdom, and then Naito spoiled it. So,
hi, Courtney.
What's up, Corny?
I wouldn't.
Don't spoil Rampage.
I once again, I'm gonna bring him up all the time, Naito, or either like Naito going for that ROH title or the AEW title. If there's anybody who deserves it right now, anytime, Naito, come over.
Oh man,
Naito needs a break from wrestling in general.
Naito needs a break. He's a vacation. Those knees need to heal.
They could work a different kind of match, less flying and more, a different thing. They could do something different.
Yeah.
Okay. El director, take it away.
All right. Cool. They started off the night again with another. That was me leaving that comment just there. So
I was gonna say thanks, Facebook user.
Like,
Yeah. So I noticed now something changing in direction with the main roster that I loved about AEW is Raw has been starting off with banger matches. That Seth Rollins Bobby Lashley match was straight up 19 straight minutes.
Amazing.
But AEW started doing that long, or at least returned to, has been doing that at least longer, or WWE hasn't done it as recently as AEW has been around. So they did it again. They started off with a banger of a match. But there is this thing where in AEW, when a non-AEW title is defended, those matches seem to lack a little bit because they're on TV and they're allotted for time. And I know it's a 2-hour show, but there were only 5 matches. This happened with Deonna Purrazzo defending her NWA title against, I believe it was Thunder Rosa, I think that was the match I'm thinking of. I've noticed this with like Wheeler Yuta and his ROH title and other ROH titles or other TNA titles. The matches just seem a little lackluster by just a little bit of shimmer. That's my opinion. This match I know would have been better if it was, let's say, a main event in an ROH pay-per-view. It definitely would have been a lot better. There were some great spots. Absolutely impressed that Jericho hit that Rana mid power bomb, that suplex to the outside, which I think did the damage that we were talking about. Wowie zowie. And now we have a new Ring of Dishonor champion, El Ocho, Chris Jericho. And I don't hate that. I like that he's the new belt collector, essentially. And yes, he's held every single major title but the ECW one, and the TNA one, I guess. But I mean, like, to hit the big 3 and then add Ring of Honor to it, that's pretty fucking cool for a guy who's 50 years old. And constantly still reinventing himself. He's already not the Wizard anymore. Now he is the Ocho. It's on his jacket. It's on his Instagram. It's a new persona. It's fucking insane that he's able to do this seamlessly and not weird.
Madonna of wrestling.
Yeah, it's not like Conan going from like Shazam or a robot guy to Conan or 1, 2, 3 Kid to 6 or Shinobi to Leaf Cassidy to Al Snow. These are seamless transitions of the same person just evolving. And I kind of... I'm with you on the ROH thing, man. Like, where is ROH? These are just belts. That's it. It was cool that they brought the CEO, owner, whoever the fuck that guy was, in to commentate.
Kerry Silken.
Yeah. And the show
it was Ian Riccaboni was commentary, and then it was Kerry Silken, the former owner.
Kerry Silken, the godfather of ROH.
Yeah, he was pretty much the founder of that. So, and then he sold it to Sinclair, and then from there, he was an alumni, but still was like a supporting cast behind the scenes.
Joe Koff.
Joe Koff, yeah. So, I mean, right. I'm happy about it.
But there's no physical ROH right now. They're not holding
events. That's
just random pay-per-views occasionally.
Randomly, okay, yeah. At least even in Impact or TNA, they still have events, and they coincide with AEW, and you can go between the 2 doors and defend belts in both. With ROH, it just seems like these are like the opener titles for AEW now. These are the IC belts and Euro belts and US belts. And I get that they're trying to keep ROH alive. I don't know what's preventing its resurgence. Could be financial backing. Maybe Tony Khan isn't signing them checks yet because I heard he bought the company. Okay. So did you just buy a library and some belts? So I would love to see Jericho defend that belt a few more times. Maybe go over there somewhere. He is a bigger name than Claudio Castagnoli, so maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they can put him on the card, sell a pay-per-view at their own arena.
Yeah.
Other than that, I love I'm calling it the Ring of Dishonor now because it's the first time that like you've had a dirty cheater win a belt like that, and the guy who runs the company was like, "This is astonishing. I don't like this. This isn't how this belt's supposed to be won." Perfect. That's exactly the character. So let's go.
Also, the name the Ocho reminds me of Dodgeball. From
ESPN. Yes.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, yes, ESPN 8. Yeah,
it's a risky move. Let's see if it pays off. Yeah, and I love that. It's funny.
Shout out to our boy, Part 3 Wrestling Podcast, man.
We
done one podcast.
Yo, real quick, Underground Temple, you said something I wanted to talk about here. Where was it? Jericho, there it is. That one. Black Country Club members was at the top of the ramp and staring out FTR in the ring. So are we going to get like a Ring of Honor champions versus BCC champions match or something? That could be the new Stadium Stampede. I would be into it. Let's do it.
That's what it looked like they were going at Death Before Dishonor, because
if you get Jazz versus like FTR, Wardlow, and BCCC or whatever the big Black Hawks Country Club, that'd be great. I love it.
Yeah. And yeah, shout out
to
Blackpool Cuckold Club. That's what.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Shout out to Cage My IQ, of course, Dan, and shout out to Underground Temple, and of course, We Them Ones. But yes, go ahead. My apologies. What were you going to say?
No, that's it. Good.
I did. Oh no, the was going to say something too. I don't know.
Oh no, I was going to say that I agree with what Clark Street's saying here. It's definitely going to further the story with Daniel Garcia, with him holding the Pure title and Jericho holding the World title. I could even see them unifying those titles once again, because there was a legendary matchup in Ring of Honor 2006. Nigel McGuinness versus Brian Danielson.
Yes.
I think the show's called United. It was in the UK. Danielson was world champion.
United we stand, I think one of those things. I forgot.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Danielson was world champion. Nigel was pure champion. They were in a massive feud, and then they unified those titles. I think that could be the route that they go with Garcia and Jericho down the line. But yeah, I also agree. Garcia's fucking reaction was priceless after Jericho. He's like
high five.
I'll come out here, but
you cheated. I'll give a high five.
I'm so disappointed in you, man. Why do you have to cheat like that, man?
I'm not mad about this move. I agree, especially like how director put it down very simply. It's true. Jericho's name is more marketable than Cassoni. It's a fact. We know that. And we're all here waiting, like, Tony Khan, what are you doing? We're waiting for Ring of Honor. You could have used one of the YouTube channels, get rid of either Darker or get rid of Elevation, put their Ring of Honor, or two, doesn't matter, anything, just to get it going. Having Jericho, like they're already in the plans. I think after Full Gear or before, they're gonna do a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and then you're gonna have Jericho. And I do like what Devin said on the comments. Said we might see, like you said that earlier, we might see Garcia and Jericho for unifying for belt for belt. And this is probably where we see Garcia going to BCC. He'll be the staple for Ring of Honor, along with Wheeler Yuta, and which I don't mind that. I like this idea. I like the idea they put that Ring of Honor title on Jericho, and it makes a lot more sense. And it will be marketable for sure, because now you're gonna have us invested to tune in and see, and I know like a lot of the Ring of Honor fans are not gonna be happy about it, but you have to understand this is a fresh start for something.
This pissed a lot of people off. I was seeing the comments. This pissed a lot of people off, but I keep on telling them, like, as much as people are going to be mad at this, I'm going to just put it this way. People are like, oh, but Claudio is in WWE. He's a big name too. But he was Cesaro. So
he was never held a world champion, was never a pay-per-view main buy rates.
Exactly.
His merch was never through the roof. He's absolutely talented. No disrespect. It's not his fault that those things never occurred for him.
Exactly. But also imagine, like I said, when you're talking to a casual fan who doesn't know, and you say, oh, check out Ring of Honor. Who's their champion? Oh, Claudio Castagnoli. That's Cesaro, but it's his real name now he's going by. And he used to – that's too much to explain. You just say Chris Jericho. Like,
he's a hard name to say, too. I had to, like, stare at it to say it right.
You say Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's a marketable name, household name, and it's easier to, get behind that.
Just went with Claudio.
People are going to – this is the time will tell that the heel is who you'd want to have the belt, so he's chased. Once the good guy has the belt, the movie's fucking over.
Yeah.
That's what Avengers
very true.
Sequel. So like
I like that psychology too. It's like
it's so basic in human instinct that you're gonna tune in to watch Jericho lose, and then he doesn't, and then you're gonna tune in to watch him lose, and then he doesn't. And there you go. You're a fan that tunes in every week
to get their revenge to watch.
Exactly.
That's why MJF is so over, is because people tune in every week to watch him lose.
Shout out Nick. Shout out.
He was there last night too. Shout out to the Ring Fanatics. He was there, of course. R-rated uncensored. Final battle. There you go. It's December. I guess it was after. Jericho Dynasty World Title FTR. Maybe we could see that happening too. Maybe the next event. Some of the reason why they gave Jericho.
Because he had because he was the first bad guy in the company, and if Moxley had it, then you wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I agree 100%. Now let's move on to the next matchup, another title matchup here, and that is, of course, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Of course, you had Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaimed. Scissor me, Daddy! Scissor me!
I love that. I can't believe that Billy Gunn.
That shit got so fucking over.
He's so over. He's over as ever, and I love every second of it. I just can't. I don't know how to say this. I'm so proud of Billy Gunn. Like, for just being able to just be himself and to find this version that's still badass Billy Gunn. This is as DX as he's ever been.
Exactly.
That's very true. You know what?
The are the new age outlaws, and they have opening catchphrases. They have sing-alongs. They have rap-alongs. They have hand signals. They do the chop. They got Billy Gunn in their corner. This is a beauty. I'm so in love with this trio.
Oh,
I love it too. This is a real AEW success story because these guys weren't even a team before AEW. Tony Khan put them together. So this was a real success story for AEW.
And they were so under the radar. They were buried in the mix of like Top Flight and 2.0 and Private Party. And like when a bunch of indie darlings coming up, and you're like, well, I don't know how to associate. Like then you had like the Young Bucks and bigger tag teams. Yeah. And you're just like, who's gonna be the breakout homegrown tag team talent? And it was the Acclaimed.
Exactly.
Right.
I just want to say to Underground Temple, because of my rap group, a lot of people who aren't necessarily wrestling fans tune into this, and I always have to explain what "scissor me, daddy ass" means, and it's always very awkward. It's always very awkward.
This is the A. The A in Acclaim is a scissor, and that's it. And then this is lesbian sex, and then he's badass Billy Gunn.
I was gonna say it's a lot more sexual than that. I'm glad you said it.
It's been pretty fucking easy, man.
And of course, the outcome of that, we did, of course, crown new tag team champions, the Acclaim. Congratulations, of course, to Mascaster and Bowens. Well deserved. But I'm gonna be the bad guy right here, and people are gonna get pissed off. I am happy that they won. However, I did say what I said last week on the show. This Tony Khan dropped the ball on this one. This is why I say this, because it made it too obvious that they were going to win. This is a catch. Why can't he fucking wait for like at least 3 more minutes before the confetti come out? Because that made it too fucking obvious. And it was pink. And it was pink. That's what I'm telling you. I said this last week on the show. If he would have gave it to them all out, it would have made a lot more sense. Because right here, you could get heat having Swerve in Our Glory, regaining it back, and then taking the trilogy at full gear. This is why because it was too obvious that they were going to give it to him. He had no choice because he knew he made a mistake. Went on like, I should have given it to him. Hell yeah, you should have. Because right there would have been the major pop, and we would have been talking about it. Maybe still, even besides the whole bullshit over there, but still, regardless, that would have been a great moment for the Acclaim. I'm not saying this was a bad moment for them. I enjoyed it. I'm happy. There were a couple of botches, but it's
okay. I got you on this. I did the research, motherfucker. Okay, check this out.
Take it away. Fuck it. Debate is on. Let's go.
Man. So, I love
earlier in the day, I had to find out who Arthur Ashe was. DeLorean, you're from New York. You may or may not know he's a very famous African-American tennis player. The arena is named after him. So a lot of times when a championship is won by a team like the Acclaim, it's done in their hometown. Max Caster's from Long Island. Anthony Bowen's from New Jersey. That's why they did it there. Always look at the tour dates. That's why they did it. And now it makes sense to me, Ivan. That's how I feel. They were waiting for it to happen as close to their United hometown. I don't exactly know where Arthur Ashe Arena is.
Queens.
It's in Queens, which is closer to Long Island than Jersey for sure. So I feel like the answer to why they didn't do it at the pay-per-view was they wanted it to happen in their hometown or their home region.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's fine.
As I was doing the research, I'm like, oh shit, Anthony Bowens jersey. How funny would it be if Caster was from New York and boom, he is from Rockville Center?
But
and
also,
and shout out
I don't
to
think Tony
Bowens.
Khan. Yeah,
Because, my apologies. I'm saying very brief, like underground, but I see how he worded it here. But I'm gonna say first ever homosexual, pretty much world champion in professional wrestling.
What's that? What just happened?
Here,
who is
homosexual male?
Both of them?
Bowens.
Oh,
Bowens.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Doesn't affect anything.
But it's first time in pro wrestling
Representation, though, for representation.
No.
First time in pro wrestling history.
Oh no. Yeah,
I was gonna say Darren Young.
Darren Young too. I forgot.
Well, no. So to be fair about Pat Patterson, no offense to Pat Patterson. No offense. Like I don't even know I said that. Pat Patterson didn't come out till he was retired. That's because the locker room was so fucking toxic, scared to death, and that's fucked.
If we were talking about retired, because also Chris Kanyon was WCW TV type.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't even like the Chris Kanyon thing came out like way after his retirement, which is unfortunate that even in the Attitude Era with which he was prominent, he was not comfortable coming out. The Pat Patterson thing, knowing the horror stories, that if he knew he came out, he probably would have been a victim of hate crime. Unfucking fortunate. Rest in peace. He passed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, Darren Young, obviously one of the first major wrestlers to come out and to have tag titles in a major company, and also African American, so he's a double minority. Same thing for Bowens. Awesome, good for him.
Yeah, awesome. I'm pretty happy.
But definitely the first in AEW for sure.
Yeah, first in AEW. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, now hold on. No, I don't know what
American homosexual.
he, her, she, him, Sonny Kiss may or may not be.
Sonny didn't win a championship, though.
Sonny Kiss is definitely gender fluid, and I don't know the orientation of Nyla Rose. So, if you want to say the first,
Sonny hasn't won a championship, and then Kenny Omega, you
could technically find, you could whittle it down if you care about labels like that, but you could say the first cisgendered male gay person would be Bowens, but there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, good for him no matter what. It doesn't affect who he is as a person. It's a very brave thing to do, and I don't love him anymore or any less because he's a good guy and fantastic wrestler, talented on the fucking mic.
But De Niro, you were saying?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I forgot.
All right.
Well,
take time to remember. I gotta go with this. So whenever there's something that some people you say, oh, that it should have been here or they should have been the championship. I think one of the great things with AEW or having that other organization that isn't WWE is what you have to do is you just have to ask yourself what would have Vince done if he was presented with these options. And I have a feeling he wouldn't pull the trigger on them until like 4 years later. And then it already
missed the opportunity. It cools down. Yeah.
You would miss the opportunity by miles. So if Vince was in the situation, he had a group like the Acclaim that was over, that rap, that the kids loved, and not only would he delay it by one pay-per-view, he would delay it by multiple years. So always just ask yourself, whenever there's something some people like, some other people like, everybody likes, whatever, just always ask yourself, what would Vince do?
What should I do, pal?
But I'll tell you what, I think I remember kind of what I was thinking before also. I don't think that Tony Khan expected the Acclaim to get that type of pop at All Out as well. So I feel like he had to capitalize on the Acclaim as the iron was still hot. It just so happened that they were coming to New York, which is like Chris said, like near both of their hometowns. So I think that it was smart for them to win just because the iron is hot with them. People want to see the Acclaim. They say everybody loves the Acclaim, and it's true. Like my girl is like such a big fan of the Acclaim. But just like, just to be devil's advocate, like what you said, Ivan, she mentioned the same thing too. She was like, oh, well, why did they get confetti that's pink? Like, wouldn't it be more believable if it was like a neutral color that didn't associate with one of the teams? So it wasn't like, we expected the Acclaim to win, because there was going to be no confetti if Swerve in Our Glory won, and it definitely would have been pink. So it was a little confusing, I guess, for someone who's not watching wrestling like that all the time. But yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's the Sony thing. I enjoyed it, but overall, it was just Sony. It was just too obvious.
That pop was crazy, though.
I was happy for that.
Crazy.
The whole chant, "Scissor me daddy ass." I'm like, Jesus, man. Hey, shout out, man, and shout out once again to Ring Fanatics because they were there.
Yeah. I love when they always put the whole chant like within Seven Nation Army. So they're like, "Scissor me daddy." Oh,
that's a hard rhythm to syllable that to, but yeah, they figured it out.
He made it work.
Drag out the symbols.
Right.
And what Dan said on Cage Mike, let's not forget it was supposed to be the Acclaim versus the Hardys, but this is Jeff being suspended caused all crazy with the Bucks taking the titles, not having Swerve. Okay, that could be the case, but we don't know.
I guess you could ask yourself what would have happened if the Hardys were out of the picture. Like, what do you think Keith Lee and Swerve would be doing?
Feuding with each other, probably.
Feuding with each other,
like
which
Swerve
we
was
might
going to
see
be
this.
turning on him.
Yeah, agreed. I mean,
shout out to Fabulous and DJ Who Kid, who was also part of this match as well.
That is right.
Fabulous, bringing it back, man.
Well, any final thoughts of the matchup? I mean, I think we all already got kind of into it, but I don't know. Round robin, very brief. Anybody want to talk about the match? We talked about the celebration. Let's talk about the match.
The storyline in this tag, the storyline amongst this has always been Swerve and Keith Lee accidentally hitting each other and botching into each other. That's been their entire tag career. It happens every match. It's deliberate. We are most definitely going to get them feuding against each other. It's just a matter of which one of them is going to be the heel, and that has to be established soon. Because that's why else would you have that storyline?
I feel like Swerve is more towards like that heel role right now, and Keith Lee's
I think people want to. People want to instinctively cheer for Keith Lee, but they can't because of Swerve. Like, basically, that's all. What it comes down to is, they want. He's always going to be the big good guy, and Swerve is definitely much better at being the asshole.
Good point. Yeah.
Yes. McAllis, De Niro, anything else you want to add to that?
I'll just say real quick. I enjoyed the matchup. The matchup was great, but I feel like the celebration, the pops, the entrances were a lot better, and just the moment. Like, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, there was so many botches and the match wasn't so good." It's like, but just enjoy the moment. Like, enjoy wrestling. That was a great moment. That was great for them. Forget Max Caster slipped off the top rope. Fuck that. Like, it was a great moment for them. So
it's a great moment for New York City, baby. I might as well I should have dressed up as Billy Joel and started singing New York State of Mind. I'm in the New
Shout
York.
out Buzzing with Marlowe.
Yeah. No. Like, me too. The only thing botched was the camera. Was it? But other than that, I really enjoyed everything. There wasn't anything wrong with it, especially how the finish was awesome. I like how that I don't know, like a urinari slam. I don't know what the hell was that, but I was just very impressed.
For the finish, that was like a belly into a rock rock.
Yeah, right. That's what it was, right?
Or,
I was like,
it was like a belly to belly into like the side effect. I think, right? He had him up, and then I have to watch it again, but I know what you're talking about.
It was nasty.
I liked that finish. I really did. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Very
that
unique.
was awesome. What about you, Matt Callis? Any final words? Any final thoughts on this before we move
Just
on?
the Billy Joel stuff. I want to end it with that.
The Billy Joel stuff.
I do like what Autograph Temple said. Imagine the UK crowd. That'd be sick. I would love that.
AEW needs to go to the UK. That'll be insane.
Oh my God, hell yeah! And yes,
I want them in the UK. I want them in San Francisco. I want them in Seattle, and I want them in Honolulu. That'd be cool, too.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And very brief. Now we're coincidentally after the match, we get this segment very quick. I mean, we got the Art and the Gun Club. And I mean, it looks like we're heading into that direction, which I really like because now I like what Stokely said last week. All right, you guys are going to go for these tag team titles. But he didn't say which one. Did he say the AEW one or the Ring of Honor or New Japan or AAA? But I like the fact how they came in and pretty much mocked FTR. And I think this is going to be for probably the Ring of Honor, in my opinion. I think maybe this is going to be the Ring of Honor tag team titles. But I like this, though. I really and one thing to remind everybody, if you go back and look at the tag match they had with FTR and Gun Club, it was fantastic. FTR put them over. Even though the Gun Club lost, but FTR really made them look good. And I'm looking forward to seeing this feud. I'm excited, actually, to be honest. I'm really invested with how they're gonna put the Gun Club more open for the FTR. And it's about time we see FTR doing something too. So I'm really happy to see them back, on vision. Hopefully we see something happening down the line. And man, I'm really stoked, really excited. So I'll take it to the director on this segment. Are you excited for this future upcoming storyline, or you're just waiting to see what happens?
I'll wait and see. I'm not excited by the Gun Club right now. I mean, they're just playing the typical twerp douchebags, and I get it. It's just old. It's just every 10 years these characters show up. So, but then also every 10 years FTR shows up. So we'll see how it plays out. And we'll see what titles they go for. Probably the Ring of Honor titles. Yeah. That's it. It was a 30-second segment, and I don't want to spend more time talking about it than the segment lasted.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. All right. Mike Callis.
I mean, you guys. I mean, myself. You guys can each take 30 seconds, but I don't need more than that.
If they go for the AAA titles, that would be good experience for them. They're still young. They got to give them as much worldly experience as possible, and then they go to Mexico and they could become Chicos Culos, something culo.
Children.
Why Chicos Culos? No,
Boys.
Oh.
What's boys?
Niños?
Niños?
Los Niños Culos?
Yeah,
Los
Los
Niños Culos.
Niños.
That's right?
You got it right. I'm not saying
Yeah.
The Firmas, El Firma Culos, like.
Oh my god.
Oh, not the firm ass. Not the firm ass.
Yeah, they're the firm ass, man.
Oh,
I love it. I hate it. I love that you said it, but I hate that it happened. It had to happen.
So, yeah, that's gonna be the bet, and it's so good that they're heels. Because if they're baby faces, they're not. I don't think that chant's gonna catch on. But if I'm at an event, I'm gonna start that chant, and it's gonna they'll be done. It's just like the dynamic dudes, and talking about with the dynamic dudes at the WCW. It was pretty bad. Johnny Ace and Shane Douglas, it was like, I'm gonna go Shane Douglas.
Jesus Christ.
Our franchise fans don't talk about those times.
Don't talk about this at all.
We don't talk about the dynamic dudes.
Tag team history. Like
I'm literally all right. This is gonna be funny, but check this out. I'm literally where's my OBS? I'm literally in the back, before the show, was watching a Johnny Ace versus RKO versus Ace Crutcher highlight reel.
Oh man,
so it's pretty on brand with the dynamic duo.
Oh my god.
It's a different list, but the Ace Crusher beats all the RKOs and Diamond Cutters in the world.
firm ass boys.
Firm ass. Jesus.
All over the world.
Dinner get away.
I think they'll definitely be going for the Ring of Honor titles. I can't see them in New Japan. Imagine the Gun Club in the World Tag League. I think that it would be actually a good experience for them to go out to New Japan and maybe
Mexico,
wrestle that style and learn a little bit. Yeah, I was about to make fun of it until I said I was like, actually, that's actually pretty cool. But to be honest, I don't think that they should be feuding with FTR right now just because they're in the firm. They are now established in a heel faction. And then, FTR is probably going to destroy these boys. So I think that, maybe not at this moment, because especially if you want them to be built back up after their feud with the Acclaimed, have them go after, fuck the titles right now. They don't deserve any tag titles. They've lost every fucking matchup that I've seen them in.
All over the world still. They need the experience.
Not only that, but go against some of the smaller tag teams. Have them face some of the more mid-card tag teams and start building their name back up.
I would know every match they have is in a DQ interference, so that's going to happen for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, because they're heelish. It makes sense. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Cass running in to help them.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be happening.
Yeah. And speaking of Big Cass, you want to talk about that? Let's just get into this.
Oh, Big Ass. He's big ass.
No big ass.
Matt,
no big ass.
Did you know that?
This is why you're 69 for a reason.
Did you know that that's what's going on Twitter for W Morrissey? They're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to make that a thing too.
That'll be the trio name for the Gun Club and W Morrissey.
Big ass club.
Firm ass, boys.
Big firm ass club.
Big
boys.
ass instead of big cast.
Yeah.
I like first second versus Soraya. That's good. I like that. I'm into that.
But man, what MJF gets a pop everywhere where he goes, and this one, of course, New York is a hometown for MJF. But I like how Yuta he tried. I was waiting for him to go personal when he brought up his fiance, but he didn't. He stepped back. He held himself back, saying anything else. But I mean, the one thing. I'm sorry, man. I love you, Tony Schiavone, but man, you got punked, man. You got punked by MJF. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Like, you literally pushed Tony Schiavone. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen Tony Schiavone get punked like that. I think it's been a while.
Not Tony.
NWO never did that to Tony back in the day?
No, they never did. I don't recall none of that happening.
Out there.
The only one that ever happened was the Bischoff that I remember. That was it. That was, heading towards the NWO birth. But other than that, I never seen nobody else.
Took a couple of diamond cutters for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But now we see W. Morrissey come out, of course, as helping MJF. I think this is a beginning that we're going to get, which we'll get to the main event, but this is the beginning of BCC versus the faction firm, I think. I think this is what we're going to get. I mean, very brief. I mean, do you feel the same way, Dinero? Do you feel the same way?
No, yeah, I definitely see that this is the start of MJF probably trying to run through everyone in the BCC to get to Moxley now. Sorry if I spoiled it for anyone who didn't watch the show, but why
would they be watching this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the review from Circle Debate.
Why would they be mad at the spoiler on the spoiler-only show?
But no Rampage spoilers, motherfuckers.
No Rampage
spoilers.
No Rampage spoilers.
Nah, but all I know is it just sounded like Wheeler Yuta was outclassed by MJF. He was not on MJF's level on the mic, and I don't know if that was by design, but MJF just ate him alive on the mic. I think that the matchup between these two could be very good, though. I believe they actually had a match. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was like the early MLW return days, because Wheeler Yuta was a part of MLW, I believe, right? He was him and very short time. I believe he had a little match with MJF, and he was feuding with the Dynasty, I think, at the time. So, yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, that was a good matchup. I think even better now because Wheeler Yuta definitely is like growing into his own. MJF is really good right now, so that would be great. But yeah, I think that MJF is just going to be feuding with the BCC and basically having the firm by his side, and we'll see that feud until MJF gets to the title shot that he wants.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Matt Callis, do you feel the same?
So one of the things, there's a lot of very interesting things, and I could play the alternate history games. Yeah, Big Firm Ass Club. Like I was saying.
Oh my God.
But hey, we got some more really bad nicknames too. So I mean, it's the Big Firm Ass Club. Versus the Blackpool Cuckold Club, as MJF called it.
Yeah.
So like it's basically like take no prisoners. Great mudslinging, verbally, mentally, physically, all of it. I think one of the things, I think Wheeler shouldn't have been afraid to be the heel in the town. He shouldn't be afraid to be Shawn Michaels in Montreal. He shouldn't be afraid to be Bret Hart in Texas. Because like he knows that no matter what, they're not going to cheer for him. So he should just like, hey, you know what? It's a tweener thing. If he just started dissing New York, I think that would have been kind of. I think that would have been kind of cool and brave on his part if he's like, well, MJF, you suck worse than the Yankees and, whatever. He could do something like that. You suck worse than.
But that would be very inaccurate because the Yankees and the Mets are killing it right now. So shout out.
There you go. Exactly.
Huge Yankees fan right here. Huge Yankees fan. Derek Jeter's
Really?
GOAT. Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
You could go for the Knicks.
Is it? Yeah, I'm all about that era. Yeah, Joe Torre is the man. Let's go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So it's like he could go for a lot of things, like because he's not the hometown hero. That ain't that. Well, I forgot what city he's from, but he's not from New York.
Wheeler Yuta?
No, MJF.
MJF's from Long Island.
No, yeah, MJF is.
But Wheeler Yuta.
Wheeler is from Pennsylvania. He is in enemy territory for sure.
Oh, definitely.
He's a Philly boy.
If you ask Conan and Disco Inferno, they call him Wheeler Utah. So maybe I would think that he was from Utah.
Utah, give me 2.
He is a Steel City for sure.
So
Holy shit! I just found out that's not his real name. What? His real name is Paul Gruber. Fucking definitely change it. Wheeler Yuta.
Wheeler Yuta's not that far behind that though. That's not really a good.
Wheeler Yuta's still pretty fucking bad. But I don't know.
I would prefer Yuta than Gruber. I think.
MJF.
I wonder where there's got to be a story behind that name, and I would love to find out. But I'll do that on my own time.
So I think Wheeler just needs to not be afraid to trash talk pretty nasty. Just get a little bit nastier next time. I mean,
I guess when he mentioned his fiance and said, "I'm not going to do that." Why the fuck did he mention it then?
I think some New York stuff would have been good, though. You know. So, I mean, then again, it's like CM Punk took all the good stuff, like the Rosie O'Donnell and "You're My Sunshine," and all. I think somebody else did the "You Are My Sunshine," because that's the song MJ. Like there's an indie video of a wrestler beating up MJF while singing "You Are My Sunshine" to him. You're my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Director, how do you feel about this one?
What the fuck was the plan for this segment?
I'm sorry, you caught me off guard.
Yeah, this was just bad. Like, what was the end goal? Was this supposed to put Wheeler over? Because first of all, Wheeler Yuta, and I will always say this, makes Steve Blackman look like The Rock on the mic. MJF near his hometown on the microphone. You're not winning the fans over against MJF in any town. No. And Wheeler was like, I got something that's going to make you look more like a bad guy, and I'm going to come out of this the hero. Was that the plan? And then you attacked the dude's wife? How was that the plan? Was this supposed to make Wheeler look tough or better on the mic or anything, or the good guy or the sympathetic hero? It did nothing for me.
This is Wheeler taking one for the team, Chris. He took one for the team.
Anybody could have come. You could have put audio out and he would have gotten fucking booed. You could have put anybody but maybe Mox. Mox probably would have definitely gotten booed out there for sure. It just was. It didn't put anyone over, and it kept MJF level. It didn't hurt MJF, but it definitely didn't help Wheeler at all. I don't understand. Yeah. And yeah, they're setting up MJF versus Wheeler while MJF still has the chip. Why would he take that fight? Why would he have to fight this guy for an ROH title when he has the chip? That's small. It's. They said like one of the lines Wheeler said was like low hanging fruit, I think, which means like you pick easy battles. Yeah, he's not picking you. I mean, he's going to send the firm after him like he did, and I don't know.
Yeah. His retainer, I'm pretty sure he will.
Really? Is he gonna really? And then hold that belt and then beat Mox for the belt and have 2 belts? Like, that would be cool. That's the only thing I can think of. And then the Shivani thing. Okay, so I don't like to say attack Shivani. Like, Shivani is a gem. Oh. I got a soft spot for the guy. He takes 20 years off and comes back and is still one of the best in the business. Like, you can talk shit to him. You can say words like, and obviously he agreed to take the bump, but don't bump him. Just let him be. MJF didn't need to do that. It was cheap. It was so cheap. It was too much effort for too little result. He already had the heat. He could have just said, "Shut up, Shivani," and then you would have gotten the same amount of heat. You didn't need to hit him. That's my thoughts. Yeah. No one won. No one came out of this a better person or a bigger heat magnet or a better hero in this segment.
Yeah, I think he was just really trying to get booed, but you're not going to
get the now.
Yeah. Tell him, Simon.
Right here with Jade Cargill and the baddies.
First and foremost, Tony, cut the shit. First and foremost, Tony, cut the shit. Tony, cut the shit. Cut the shit. Tony?
I love that. That's a good angle. I love it.
They censored it this time. They used audience noise to censor it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, when they censored it, I was like, really? Come on.
Oh,
Again, all the members one by one.
members. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about. I guess I'm gonna let De Niro take this one briefly about the. I don't know. Honestly, there's not much to talk about this segment for me, and that's of course the Trina showing up. Of course, she's a legend of hip hop industry for sure. But man, Diamante, I honestly, you know what I thought? I said last week, I thought it was gonna be. I honestly thought she was gonna bring. Who did I thought? Two girls. I think one that I thought
One cup.
Couldn't resist. That's my line.
You can't.
That's my line.
That's my
You
line.
can't take me places, brother.
Oh man,
Can't take us anywhere. That was my line, Chris. That was my line.
You can't.
never
say
thought I'd
that.
be talking about two girls, one cup on this show.
I did a guitar solo to the music of that video.
I remember my friend just sent me a link with no title, and I clicked it, and I am forever scarred. But
E. coli poisoning.
Oh my god! Go ahead, De Niro. Take that.
My favorite thing is people found out that was fake and they were mad about it.
yeah, why would you want it to be real? Like the fuck?
That's still.
How dare you not really eat shit?
There's still E. coli poisoning
Yeah, probably.
through your esophagus.
Yeah. So Trina, huh? Trina is
She's a rapper, but also
she's a rapper
Is she like-
signed
is she
to.
gonna be-
I mean, I hope she's not signed full time. She seemed pretty bland here, but Trina, former artist with Def Jam Records, also with No Limits and on Atlantic Records.
She was on No Limit.
Okay.
Dang.
I believe for a very
Master
short
P?
time. Yeah, definitely for a
Master
short
P and No
time.
Limit Soldiers.
And shout out House of Glory Wrestling, now owned by Master P, which is dope.
Say, oh,
But
And
she
Lil
had
Bow
songs
Wow.
like
Or no, not Lil Bow Wow. What's Master P's
Romeo.
name?
Lil Romeo.
Romeo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone remembers the song Pull Over. That was Trina. I believe it was like her biggest hit, but she was more of like a one-hit wonder. I mean, if you want to get like a big hip-hop name that was a female, I know WWE been trying to get Cardi B. Cardi B is local in New York. That would have been a big pickup for them just to show her.
That Twitter beat she had though was so cringe.
Which one?
It was so bad I forgot she had it with Rousey, right?
Oh, no, it was
that Cardi B
it
got
was,
into that fight with that she thought.
what's her name? Evans. What's her name again? First name. The one that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans. Yeah.
Lacey Evans.
She got into it with Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans was like, "Oh,
Or
I'm a
Cardi
girl
B.
bad
She doesn't even know if she was working or shooting, which was the funny part about it.
Exactly.
Like I think she was trying to generate heat, but I think that she didn't know that the heat was fake. Like she didn't know the difference between work and shoot.
Yeah. I feel like
and Lacey Evans has legit.
Lacey Evans was full
No, go
kayfabe
ahead.
mode, and then you had Cardi B like this bitch, and it was like, yo, relax, it's kayfabe. But the thing is, it's like
Lacey Evans has literally killed people. Like she has a body count. It's fucking. I'm done. Like I'm not fucking with Lacey Evans ever.
And Cardi B's a fake blood, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, so
burn. Wait until you guys wait for my hot takes.
Oh my
It gets
god!
spicier as the show goes on, guys.
I swear, I feel like I'm gonna be one woman. Oh my god, this is a story.
my only thing with AEW is like, you know, when you bring in these celebrities or bring in like these like guests, like, and they build them up, and then you bring out people like Trina, like, all due respect to Trina, like I said, I'm in hip hop, I'm in that world, and I always respect like those who came before me. But Trina was never really that big of a deal. So to say, oh, I'm bringing the baddest bitch, and it's Trina, it's like, you know what I mean? That's like bringing out Fabulous. Like I love Fabulous, but when was the last time Fabulous been fucking relevant? You know what I mean? Like I understand having Action Bronson because he's doing the song for a hook, but
he's got his cooking channel on YouTube.
That got canceled too.
No,
it got canceled. Yeah.
I love it.
Really, Action Bronson's literally one of the best chefs in the world. That's wild.
Yeah.
I love his cooking.
I don't know if the YouTube got canceled, but I think his show, he had like the cooking show on Vice that got canceled. But yeah, I just feel like AEW does have the money if they did want to bring in the celebrity or like the guest rappers to bring in the guest rappers. If you're in New York, I would be looking at who's the biggest rappers in New York right now, and it's like
what? I'm gonna get. Guess what? I'm gonna get. Bring me to the ring. I'm gonna get Mystical.
That's a bad move. Mystical's in a lot of trouble right now. Mystical's I like the jab.
Matt's over here talking about Bobby Shmurda and shit.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah.
Trina,
Shout out to Trina, but yeah.
Shout out, yeah, I respect her, but
so is she here to just? She's not wrestling, right? She's not next in line for Jade Cargill.
No.
Okay. That's what it
when
seems
you
like
say bad is
like,
big, I'm thinking it's a wrestler. I didn't think you're gonna bring out Trina. I thought she was gonna bring out Jazz. Like
that's what I thought too. I thought Jazz.
Jazz, you should say, "Oh, the bitch is back." And it's like, I thought Jazz, or I thought somebody else who was going to be able to be in the ring. Like Trina bringing out a rapper, I thought that was a bit of a letdown because it wasn't.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. As far as
Diamante didn't say, "Oh, I'm bringing out a rapper next week."
You can't be like, I'm the best wrestler in the world, but I'm not a wrestler and I rap.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if
I wish Jazz, man. That would have been. What I thought it was going to be Mercedes and Jazz.
Mercedes would have been a great idea.
Yes.
Where is
Mercedes Martinez and Jazz. Woo! That would have made more sense right there.
People forget Jazz was actually in AEW.
Yeah.
Or Shao. Like Shao's back doing shit, right? Is she active again?
I don't know.
She's not active. No, she's doing her.
She's been posting more. I know she takes her hiatuses off for her well-being, but then she comes back and she does a couple matches and then takes a break. So I saw her active recently. I just didn't know if it was in the ring or just doing signings.
No, just
but that would be sick. Shao came in
tomorrow.
Fucking tore it up.
No, she'll be this Saturday at the LAX Fan Fest, of course, for all your SoCal fans.
So I thought maybe
she will be there and signing
back in the ring.
Yeah,
dude, how sick would that be though? She gets back to where she needs to be back in the ring. That'd be sick.
I would love that. Yeah.
I mean, I get you, Dan, that she's Jazz not from New York, but I mean,
neither is Trina. Trina's from Miami.
Trina's Miami. I mean, Victoria. No, not Victoria. But all right, enough of that one. Let's move on now with another championship matchup here, and that is for the Mid-Atlantic Championship. Of course, we had Pac versus Orange Cassidy, and of course, Pac cheated. Great match overall, though, but then he cheated towards the end. He grabbed the ring bell, the hammer, hits, of course, Orange Cassidy, and picks up with the win. I don't know if is heel or face, but every time when you see this triangle, where does Pac comes out? The heel side. And where do you see Phoenix? It's the face side. Where do you see Penta in the middle? Because he could be either way. He could be the good and evil. That's why he has Penta Dark and the regular original Penta.
Depends on what.
Pac's always been a heel. Yeah, Pac's always been a heel. He's never been a face at all. He can't.
He's the bastard.
Careful. Hey,
he's the bastard.
But Aaron Neville or whatever he was before he was.
Adrian Neville.
Not Aaron Neville. Not the singer from the 80s. This guy, he was a good guy. When he was a superhero with the cape and shit, he was a good guy until the Austin Aries thing.
Well, because they were trying to make him like the Mighty Mouse. That's what we're trying to make him be, like the Mighty Mouse.
Man, when I read that for the first time, like, why the fuck? First of all, who thinks of a wrestler and be like, I want a Mighty Mouse character as a wrestler? Like, this is why Vince had to go away like years ago.
Did you really ask? Really ask me that?
Like, Vince was like, make him a cartoon. He's on his couch just sleeping.
How do you look at Pac and be like, Mighty Mouse? It's all in the ears. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
We make movies.
We don't make movies. We don't make that movie.
I mean, he wanted that
aggression
of a Mighty Mouse. That's
Mighty Mouse ain't ruthless at all.
Vince was a little kid, of course. He
still is a little kid.
Well, right? Yeah. Yep. Doing things that, man, I was a teenager. But man, overall, this matchup was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I don't know what direction they're going to head with. And we're going to see a rematch and be at full gear. Not quite sure, but whatever it is, I'm happy. But one thing I didn't mention last week myself, I want Pac to lose it to Ethan Page in Toronto. That's what I want. Damn it, TK. I don't give a damn what you say. Please make it happen. Please.
Give me what I want.
That's what I want. Because then you're going to give Ethan Page in the first title for the firm to have the all-elective. Why not? I will not be disappointed with that. So, Director, talk to us about this match. And, of course.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy's very first match, official one-on-ones match in AEW, I do believe was against Pac. Because he was doing the thing where he didn't move very much, obviously, and then for like the first half of the match. Am I correct? I think I'm pretty correct on that.
No, yeah, that was.
And Pac obviously won that match, but it was the first time you got to the AEW crowd. He didn't know Orange Cassidy, who for the first couple months was just standing still, doing the cool little I don't care shit. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the match, he turns it on, goes super fast. And everyone's like, what the fuck? This guy can wrestle? I thought he was just the guy that did this all the time. So the history is that Pac has always beaten him. Pac also doesn't cheat, as far as I can remember. He doesn't need to cheat, and he doesn't cheat. So in a way, I think this is a protected loss because each time Orange Cassidy fights Pac, he's a little closer to winning in Pac's mind. So he had to take that out to set up for when Orange Cassidy finally does beat Pac. This is the Tommy Dreamer Raven moment where his whole career, Orange Cassidy just can't get her done. And I think this is leading up to Orange Cassidy getting that rematch and winning that title.
Really?
There's no other reason Pac would have cheated.
So you wouldn't give it to Ethan? You wouldn't give it to Ethan?
Well, you can't have a heel beat a heel. And if you cheat to win, you're a heel. Pac is the bastard. You just can't do that. You can't have the heel-to-heel title transference like that. The storyline is Orange Cassidy. That's what's going to pop.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing there, but I was just asking. I mean, would you? I'm just saying.
Ethan is going to win something down the line. The dynamic and the storyline isn't set up yet, though.
I get you.
Tupac, because he has two belts. I get it.
Yeah, Tupac, man. Tupac. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just how I feel. It was a good match, and find another time that Pac has cheated to win with weapons like that. I can't think of any. He doesn't need to. And he thought he was going to lose, so he did, because Orange Cassidy is just getting that much closer to beating him. And then there's going to be a third match, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, definitely a good point.
Absolutely. I agree. I can't disagree. Matt Callis.
Guys, we forgot about the X factor in this, and that's Kip Sabian. You know.
Why? He wasn't even there.
He wasn't there.
That feud is done.
Bruce Pritchard wasn't there.
Yeah, that feud's done.
Well, he's gotta play a role in the Ethan Page thing eventually.
Thumbnail that. Clip that real quick.
Someone clip it.
I don't know how on this laptop. Someone.
Hold on.
I did it mentally.
I got it. I actually did it. I did it with one hand. Control all three. Just
I was gonna say Chris got the glasses, and we can't even do this for him.
I know.
So overall, I mean, there was also the Kenny Omega triple threat match with Pac and Cassidy together, but I think one of with his box, because it's the Timmy Turner thing, you know. Timmy, Fairly Odd Parents with the bag over his head, but Pac in general, I think he's kind of in the tweener role. Like a second time tonight, I've brought that up because a tweener kind of has to kind of flip between heel and babyface. So I guess he's gonna be more on the babyface side of things when he faces Ethan Page. But I think, or it might be, once again, a Shawn Michaels Bret Hart thing where, because it's like Toronto, it's his hometown. It's going to be, if that does happen in Canada, it's going to be home field advantage. I think the other thing is like Orange Cassidy is pretty well loved on the indies, but I think they need Pac for more like international, since they want the All Atlantic to be an international title. Just rename the belt, the AEW International title. I don't care. Call it something, you know.
Intercontinental PN.
Yeah, yeah, rename it for Christ's sake. Western Hemisphere. I don't care.
Yeah, right. The zip code title.
The zip code title.
The time zone. It's a time zone fucking title. I was probably like, what time zone?
3 nights and weekends. International Dateline.
I love that. No roaming minutes.
No roaming minutes. I got 3 nights and weekends, so you could text me at night after I get out of class, after I finish my homework. You know? What the fuck? Man, I remember those days. That's like it's 9th grade all over again, you guys.
Oh my god!
But I think Cassidy should get the 3rd one though, and all, because I guess that I hope they build up to that eventually. They can't just, because this is something, once again, what would Vince do? He would just never have them face each other again, and then
No, Vince will have them rematch every single week on Raw.
Either or. I'm talking about
it all ends in DQs and surprise finishes.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about 2001 Vince. That's what.
Oh, he would have done this.
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah, I think he would have. He either Pac
2001 Vince would have had Pac kiss his ass and would have had a bunch of weird shit. Fuck Vince.
Lesnar throw him in the audience.
Fuck Vince. Yeah.
Then he'd put them in a movie. Put them both in a movie.
The Mighty Mouse movie.
Oh my god. The Mighty Mouse movie.
The Marine 25.
Oh my god.
Man. Guys, earlier segments are building up to so much good shit that I'm gonna say in an upcoming segment. We
need to have titles for our episodes now because of
like I said, we have Mighty Mouse.
I started titling the Wrestling DeLoreans, but nothing as good as Octomom and
we could go back, we could retcon that and call that the Octomom episode.
I tried to pull up that clip the other day. I forgot what episode it was, just because I wanted to rewatch that.
Oh my god, I love it.
Chris you know which episode? Were you watching that one?
You remember that clip, Chris, where he's like, I want to he says, I would like to interview Darby Allin and Mick Foley and like a deathmatch wrestler and Octomom all at the same time.
No, I also said
Nadia Sullivan.
I said a Navy SEAL, like
Nadia Sullivan. I know her name because she lived a block away from me in La Habra.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
How small world.
It is not though. That's the scary part.
People have gone through a lot of pain. I was just in La Habra earlier today. I gassed up at the Costco there.
Oh, nice. Right across from my old video store.
Mm-hmm.
Which is now like a car loans title refund place.
I think I saw it right across the street. I was eating a hot dog.
That's it. Next to where Videotown used to be.
Mm-hmm.
De Niro, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm glad that Pac won. Like I didn't want Orange Cassidy to win, even though I like Orange Cassidy. I wanted Pac to win and keep the title on him. I didn't like the whole needing to cheat thing because I do want Ethan Page to win the title when they do go to Toronto. I just don't know if Ethan Page should win the title because he's already barely seen on TV. I think it will be a disservice to this title if he's barely seen also as a champion. So I think that right now, either keep the title on Pac, he has a lot of momentum, or they should have just gave it to Orange Cassidy. But I don't know if giving the title to Ethan Page right now is the right move, especially because Ethan Page is not ever showcased like that. He just joined the firm, but still, it's like he's not really showcased on TV as much to put a title on him. So, I don't know. It's just a really weird dynamic. I feel like this title needs to be defended more on AEW Dynamite like it was for it to even matter. But it's just weird. I don't know what direction they're going to go after this. Because like I said, yeah, Ethan Page in Toronto makes sense for the hometown pop. But as much as I think Ethan Page is underrated, I think AEW already ruined him because it's now if he gets the title, people are going to be like, why him? Who cares? So he kind of has like a little bit of a bad stench on him. They need to not repackage him, but at least showcase him more. I don't think his last match in AEW was when? Like 2-3 months ago? Well, besides his match with besides his match with Danhausen on last week's Rampage. Before that, it was like a couple months before he had a match. So why would he be getting a title shot just because he fucking asked for it? You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I get it.
That's some Logan Paul shit.
So we'll get into that after. But speaking of now, let's get into the AEW. No intern. Fuck the intern. It's a women's championship. Not saying the intern, Tony Khan. I don't care what you say. I know you get upset, but no, it's not the intern, Tony Khan.
That's fucking bullshit.
No, you're bullshit, damn it. It's not. All right.
Weird Al Yankovic. We have to do.
No,
Ivan, we need to do the Weird Al Yankovic type thing
yes,
with you and Tony Khan. Like, we gotta cut in a Tony Khan interview with just you. Like, so Tony Khan, what do you think about what do you think about John Moxley? I think he's the sexiest I've ever.
Oh my god. Yes, yes, I agree. Well, actually, it is more featured more. To be honest, I actually am intrigued. But yes, this matchup was great, fantastic overall. I want to just, of course, Tony Storm retained by pinning, of course, Dr. Brick Breaker, DMD. But what I want to say about this match before we get into the aftermath, let's just talk about the match first, then we'll get into the aftermath. This I really enjoyed. One thing I wanted to really digress about this match, and I mean in a positive, not in a negative, that finally Athena do shit that I've been asking for her to be showcased more, and this match delivered. Even though that little, that impact, of course, that little botch happened to Britt. Of course, it happens. Accidents do happen, but other than that, Athena looked fantastic at this match, man. I really enjoyed seeing her, what she did. I think all these four women brought the chemistry that us fans needed to see in the women's division in AEW. And I'm happy that this is the direction we're going with. And I'm hoping, as Tony Khan could see, yes, you saw that, give them the time. This is why. By seeing those four women that you put in there, gave you, they barely even wrestle each other as much, but you saw that chemistry, that psychology, all four of them overall. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, even Serena, loved the fact how she's like, that suplex, and she had Tony Storm in the Indian sit cross mode. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Britt, of course, being Britt. Man. No, damn it, it's not intern. It is not decided, damn it. No, it is not decided. Oh, fine.
Acknowledge me.
I will not.
I see you shaking that thing. I see you, baby.
But other than that, I really enjoyed this Fatal 4-Way. And I'm happy that we got to see Serena showcase more and Athena. So I'm. There's nothing I can say. This is the only thing I digress is now. This is where you should pull the move forward with the women's division now. You need to move forward with them. This is how it starts. So I don't know. I'm just digressing. Take it away, Dinner. I'll take it to you.
Yeah, this matchup was a banger. Athena was on some Ember Moon shit, which was something that we haven't seen in a while from her. Serena Deeb is so underrated and underappreciated, I feel, and is amazing in the ring. And I can't wait for her to get her just due. Britt Baker's a great bleeder. She bleeds a lot.
That was dude. I saw that before it happened. I'm like, she's fucked.
Yeah, when
that spot was so fucked. I'm like,
you saw when she grabbed her nose as soon as it happened. I was like, she's going to be bleeding a lot.
I didn't even need to see that part. As soon as I saw the fall from the angle, I'm like, her face is fucked.
Yeah.
Right
now, Tony Storm, I'm enjoying her title reign so far. I liked the tag match last week, and this matchup was really, really good. Great matchup. They really delivered, and I hope that this is. We're going to talk about the aftermath, but you don't bring in someone like that and have matches like this and only give them 20 minutes a show. I think that this is going to be the start of the women definitely getting more time and just get more of a push because it's well-deserved. The talent on this women's division is so amazing, and people don't even realize it because they don't have enough time to show it off or showcase it. So now that we have a fucking packed stadium and millions watching every week for the last 4 or 5 weeks now. They're showcasing it, and a lot of people are enjoying the women. So push them more, and have more storylines. Have, different storylines that don't revolve around the title. Like, you can have 2 women just feud because they don't like each other, and you can have more matches on the show. So I think, especially while you have, half the roster suspended, now's the time to have the fucking women showcased more.
Hell yes.
There you go. That's Matt Callis.
Time for a curveball.
Oh, man.
What?
Oh, man.
You get 1 per show. Here he comes.
Got one. You got one.
All right.
That's what
Here we go.
Whoa. There you go.
Ah, my head.
Oh, I thought it hit you in the nose like Britt Baker.
Man, it's
almost.
It's like Rookie of the Year where it's on fire and stuff. Other than the person who showed up at the end of this showing up, we'll get to that. I got a lot of fun things to say about. But other than that person, I think here's Matthew's recommended watch material. I really recommend this match, Mayu Iwatani versus Toni Storm. It's a must-watch match, and both of her matches with Toni Storm, because Toni won the Wonder of Stardom champion. She was the champion of Stardom, and that was like a very special moment. So she definitely deserves her title. She's earned it, she's earned her stripes there, and and there's a lot of great things down the line in the future. But overall, that's and if there's anybody who should at least, I'm not gonna stop mentioning her, Mayu Iwatani. Everybody's seen Io Shirai, everybody's seen Kairi Sane, but out of the 3, there's 3 of them, and Mayu Iwatani's part of that trilogy. It's like the Radicals or any stable of wrestlers. I think those 3 are stable in and of themselves. But overall, I think other than a roll up, I think I would have liked her hitting a finisher on Britt and then finishing it off. But everybody was pretty amazing, and Athena had some really crazy maneuvers. She's got an arsenal on her, I must say. And especially with a technician like Serena in there with her. God, this is me. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'd have a women's pure title between Serena and Athena. My God. Per match with those 2, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, they could probably do that.
I like that.
ROH.
I like that. That's not a bad idea. That is
such good shit.
It is good shit. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like Serena's meant for the women's pure title. It's like she's there for it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Director, take it away.
Hey, wow, we got all the women on the roster in one match again. How about that? That's fucking
Tony's got a default setting.
Way to showcase your talent all at once and not have me to any of the other men's time. Yeah, they gotta stop doing that. It is what it is. Sucks. You can have a good match. You can have as many 4-ways as you want, but it's just what they've been doing. They've just been putting them all as. I would love to see the numbers of how many 4-ways versus singles matches they've had, especially in the title picture. I mean, in a way, it makes Toni Storm look stronger that she's beating so many women all at once. She's kind of cleaned out the roster in 2 nights. It's still undisputed too, right? Or it's still interim?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's interim. Jesus.
Are they really holding out for Thunder Rosa coming back? Do they think that that's a thing?
Yeah, they're waiting for that.
Point,
but
yeah.
at this point, okay. I don't think she's coming anytime soon, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you that right now. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a good match because you have the 4 most talented women in the company all at the same time. Goddamn that face buster on Britt Baker, who when Athena did the fallaway slam Samoan drop combo, which I mean, just doing the math, Athena is probably about. I mean, I'm not talking out of line here, about 140 pounds, and it was Britt and Serena were the other 2, so that's a combined weight of another 220. That's strong girl. She definitely does not miss squat day. But as soon as I saw the face land, I was like, Queen of Extreme 2.0, Britt Baker is going to be bleeding again. And it looks good on her. Blood looks good on her. Like, not in like an attractive, sexy way or anything, but I mean, like, she wears it well. Like,
I mean, she has a whole shirt, a whole bloody shirt. She has a bloody action figure.
She is the new Queen of Extreme, in my opinion. I have no problem giving her that because Francine had 0 matches. Yeah, good match. It is what it is. I'd like to see more singles and more time. And I mean, 5 matches. They had 1 match, and that's We gonna talk about what happened after, or?
Of course we are. What do you mean? Now it's time to talk about it after.
Oh, I care about.
Oh man, and then
skip on to the main event. No,
wait, what? Wait, what? What? But yes, it happened, ladies and gentlemen. It was the aftermath. Jamie Hayter came out. We all thought Jamie Hayter was going to turn.
Oh yeah, the Jamie Hayter thing.
Yes,
on weird. That's a weird angle. I don't know what's happening. I guess Hayter's got being a girl, a Britt Baker girl. I guess I thought that was going to kind of go the other direction.
I wish it was the other direction for sure.
Me too. But I'll bring that up because Dan, he was on the Wrestling Index. He made a good point of what he said about we might see Jamie Hayter turn on Britt towards the end.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be the opposite. I think Britt will turn on Jamie if Jamie gets her title shot at Full Gear versus Toni Storm. And then that's how you turn Hayter to a face.
Either way, Hayter is a fucking face deluxe. She is waiting to explode with personality.
See, look, he even said it right here in the comment. But no, but I think it's the opposite, Dan. I think it's going to be Britt turning on Hayter. Well, yeah, we're best friends. Yeah, for sure. We're buddies. But then when she gets a title shot and
because Britt has been the one that's sympathetic. She's been the one that's like, I'm sorry, be my friend.
And that's not Britt.
Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think's going to happen? Hayter's going to turn on Britt and just get her ass beat by Rebel? Reba? Like
Rebel, Reba. What is it? Is it Rebel, Reba, Reba?
Rebel.
That's an angle from like 2 years ago. The Rebel, don't call me Reba.
Yeah. Oh.
I like that. Funny.
But yes, of course, then the aftermath, Jamie Hayter came by, and then we get like a dark cloud or like a dark screen. Get this theme song, and then of course,
music nobody recognizes.
Yeah, a music that
I didn't have any.
I kind of recognized. I
had no. It didn't start. If it started with a scream, I would have gotten it, but it didn't, and I had no idea. I didn't even have wrong guesses. I was like, Diana Perazzo?
I had no guesses either. At first, I kind of thought, is it maybe Chris Statlander back from injury? But then I was like, nah, I don't think it was Statlander.
That'll never happen.
No, she's never come back from injury?
Well, she's never going to be not injured.
Oh, true.
Yes. And then, of course,
she's the only wrestler to get injured on the walkout.
Yeah. It's kind of like when Sami Zayn was making his entrance, went like this and tore his shoulder.
Yeah.
And of course, we get that entrance. Then we saw the name.
God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait. Everybody calm down. No.
And that is right. She is an AEW, ladies and gentlemen. Saraya, formerly known as Paige, is now All Elite.
God damn it. That's such a good graphic.
Oh, she is now All Elite. And
Paige here.
Scream with me.
Paige here. Yeah.
I like how she hit that. This is my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping that.
Exactly, Dan. That's what I thought. When I heard the riff, I'm like, falling in verse. I knew it. And I know that Bobby Drake made that song for her. Of course he did. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yep, me too. I'm like, yep, Saraya. Yo, all I could say that was like the year we all win. Yes, we did. We all did right here. I had goosebumps.
I cried.
I was happy.
I'm a weird guy. Like tragedies and things, like I get sad. I'm a human, but I only cry physical tears with joy. It's pretty sociopathic, I guess. But wrestling
pretty much the same way.
Yeah,
I think all of us are the same way. To be honest, we're all the same way.
it's great she's like overcoming, you know, past injuries, coming back to the wrestling. I'm
well,
happy.
We don't know. That's what I want to bring up is we got
to find out.
That's a big fucking question mark. I need to see.
And to Underground Temple, your boy Xavier don't get R-rated like your boy Xavier Woods.
Yeah, we don't need up, down, down, in, out, out.
In and out. No, but I got some insight. You know, it's kind of fun. It's on the other side. Another part of me is like, wow, the girlfriend of the man who stole my bass player in 2011 is now in AEW. Ronnie,
you don't like Ronnie Radke?
He stole my bass player in 2011.
Max was your bass player?
No, Mika Horoichi.
Oh, I got you. Cool.
Their first bass player. But gotcha. I mean, to his credit, I was broke at the time, so I don't have the kind of money that Ronnie could have paid Mika. So I'm just like,
all that matters, brother.
Yeah. I don't.
Was that for Falling in Reverse or his other band? I forgot.
That was Falling in Reverse. It was the first one.
Way before that.
Yeah, Mika was the Japanese guy with red hair, and he actually did my hair. I think a few months after he left Falling in Reverse, you know. So there was that time period, and Mika was in a power metal group called Celador before he joined Falling in Reverse. So this once again, it's Matthew's personal life spilling into wrestling, or wrestling spilling into my vice versa. You know, there's me working with Logan Paul, and then Ronnie stealing my bass player. But overall, the other thing is like, I think this is like the only person on the AEW roster who's ever had a movie made about them. Because John Moxley, what was it, 12 rounds? Something.
But that wasn't about him, though. That wasn't about him.
It wasn't about him.
He was based on a character
like
of
a cop movie.
Yeah, he was a cop in the movie. He was like
12 rounds.
Moxley was definitely never a cop.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't called 12 rounds. It was about an MMA cage fighter.
12 rounds was John Cena.
I know, but
no. He was in a WWE movie when he was
Dean Ambrose was in 12 rounds part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The 13th round or some shit it was called.
Yeah.
He was Randy Orton's character, kind of.
So Paige started, I believe, her first match on the main roster. She was like 19. She's definitely very young.
Yes,
she's born in 1992.
AJ
30
Lee,
years old.
Greatest title win in WWE history.
The biggest question, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I agree 100%.
The anti-diva.
But man, it's just the concern. You know, I think all of us are concerned here, personally, not just being a fan of hers, but also the personal state of level. Is she ready? I mean, has she been?
Are we ready?
I think, are we ready to see her get in the ring? Because I think we're gonna get cringe if we see that. You know,
ready?
We said the same thing about Brian Danielson. We said the same thing about Sting. We said the same thing about Edge. And look, they're all doing really well. If you're in there with professionals, they'll protect her. And I think that she'll be good.
Rage in the cage with Paige soon.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Dinner. Take it away on this one. I mean,
I'm so fucking excited. Like, I am hyped. Paige has always been one of my favorite women's wrestlers for a long time. I'm talking almost a decade. I was watching this with my fiance. Like I said, she's hyped. She's a big Paige fan. This was just a great moment. I had goosebumps when she came out. I want to make sure first and foremost that like she is cleared to wrestle before she gets into the ring. But if she is, like I think that she wouldn't necessarily step in, and AEW wouldn't put her in the ring unless she was cleared. The matches, man, like there's so many great matches you could put with Paige. Paige versus Serena Deeb would be great. Paige versus Britt Baker would be great. Paige versus Athena would be great. Toni Storm would be great. Thunder Rosa. I think Paige is
Aew Watani.
Talk about on the roster, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, AEW's got international. It gives you international. She could go the Moxley route and do a bunch of extra stuff.
Maybe, I mean, if she's just getting back into wrestling right now, you want to ease her into that. So maybe in like a year or so. But for sure, I think that this is the moment where when she came out, I was talking to my fiance. I was telling her, like, this is the moment that AEW is really going to push the women. Because Paige is not just a star. She is a mega star. This is where the women are now going to get full showcase because you don't have Paige come to AEW and then tell her, well, the women get 15 minutes every week. Like, Paige is going to come and she's going to be a game changer for the women's division and hopefully for Ring of Honor, hopefully for AEW as a whole. So I think that this is going to be where we see the page turn, no pun intended, and we see AEW really showcase their women more.
Love it. Matt Callis.
I think other than that, like maybe it might be like a second kind of quasi women's revolution just to get them more time, especially somebody of her caliber. And, once again, Matthew's big thinking, not exactly a curveball, but I guess big thinking, wishful thinking. I don't know, maybe a sequel to Fighting With My Family. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Fighting With My Family Part 2, All Elite.
Produced by Tony, It's like if they can't call it WWE by name, it's like World Wrestling Organization. But I mean, because her story,
my EVP is backstage.
Because I've watched retrospective videos on her, and it's like I think it's very inspiring to know that her story continues. Like, because I watched the video of her, like her retirement and her putting her shirt next to her sneakers. And was it sneakers? It wasn't boots because she got Chuck Taylors. I think it was Chuck Taylors in the ring. She got a pair of Chucks. Was that right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I believe so.
With the Paige t-shirt and her retirement, and then seeing her story continue here is like, because the CM Punk was a big thing. This was another thing I think a lot of us never thought we'd see. Because in the Indies, she wasn't doing matches. She was just doing meet and greets and stuff like that. Because she was, what was it, LA Fan Fest? She was doing, like, when we were talking with them, Ivan, she was doing an appearance.
Yes.
And doing a signing. She wasn't doing matches. So the second she steps into that ring, I know rather than that, like, I know the promo is going to get a lot of views, but I think her first match back will be a big selling point, and they have to do it right. That's the
I would wait all the way to Full Gear. I wouldn't even put her in the ring. I would have her like build up a story and then have the big match on pay-per-view.
Like how they did with Punk, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
with Punk, you had like 3 weeks until like the pay-per-view. Here you have a good month and a half to really build to it.
So 100%.
You know what? Stuff like this only creates more questions, but we can get to the question after Chris, but I'll ask it now and you guys can answer it after Chris. But do you think her first opponent should be Britt Baker or should it be Jamie Hayter?
I think if it's pay-per-view, the money match would be her versus Britt Baker, even though that might be the biggest match you could do with her right now, besides putting the title on her. And I think that's way too soon for that too. So you would have to like build her up in this division. So I think her and Britt Baker for pay-per-view would be a big match for her. Yes. I would rather her go against somebody who's a lot more seasoned than going to protect her. Because like I said, as much of a fan of Paige as I am, the main thing that I want to make sure is she's not going to get hurt in the ring.
Absolutely. So. Agreed 100%. Director, the floor is yours.
Ooh, all right. No, I had no idea this was happening. I didn't recognize the theme song, so I kind of was just like, who the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, wow. Super emotional because I've always been sympathetic. I've always been sympathetic to wrestlers whose careers are cut short, not on their own fruition.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, Edge, those were big ones that meant a lot to me. When they came back, was super emotional. I remember specifically how I felt when first. Where were you when you watched Daniel Bryan make his retirement announcement?
We talked about it.
So you remember where you were. I remember where I was when he made his. The doctors said the thing that's keeping me out of the ring may not be as bad as they said it was, and I was gushing with emotion. And then like a week or two later, he gets attacked by Kevin Owens, and then he starts hitting those machine cupcakes and the flying psycho knees. And I'm like, he's fucking cleared. He's hitting the kicks. Holy shit.
He knew WrestleMania is around the corner, so it was like, oh my god,
this is real. This is happening. He's back. So I hope that moment happens for Paige because we don't know what capacity she's being brought back for, but they have a plan. And I don't think she's going to be the mouthpiece for Absolution again. I think she's going to be cleared or is cleared already. I think she's going to wrestle because she is one of the most talented people ever to wrestle. Just a phenom everywhere. On the mic, the look, the quality of wrestling, it's all there. Youngest women's wrestler of all time. She literally dissolved the butterfly title and made it the women's championship. That's all her. No one gives her any credit for starting the women's division and getting rid of the supermodel division.
Yeah.
She made women have to learn how to wrestle to matter. That's just a fact.
I love it.
But she has so few matches. That's the thing. She did it.
I know.
She was able to do all that, and I'm going to guess TV and pay-per-views combined, less than a couple hundred matches for sure. So many years of her life, and like DeLorean said, she's only 30, are just not, gone, and she has a lot of time to make up for, and hopefully she gets to do that. And to do that, I think she's going to have to be in there with. I like the idea of nobody green. I don't want her in there with Jade Cargill anytime soon. I don't want her in there with.
Oh no!
Chris Statlander.
No Marina Shafir.
No Marina. Yeah, no Nia Jax. She is unfortunately I don't want to say
Nyla Rose.
Yeah, I don't want to say she's a liability, but I don't want the thing. I mean, she was in there with Sasha Banks, a seasoned pro, and it was a freak accident. It was like a drop kick to the back of the neck or something. I think that happened.
Yeah, she was like in the corner, and she
she took like a knee. It was just unfortunate whiplash, which can happen.
Or if she gets put in with somebody green, I don't know. Maybe they have to really like choreograph and rehearse it beforehand.
Yeah, but
really. Like wasn't because like Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage, that was like super rehearsed.
WrestleMania 4.
I mean, she could have the Hulk Hogan TNA rule in her contract where I could have matches, but I don't take bumps.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hogan did do that. I forgot about that.
To get her to title picture. I mean, she's obviously going to be already. I think someone commented she's already ranked, which is totally fair, even though she hasn't wrestled in 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Those damn rankings.
Get her in there. Have her take out people who matter, who can take a loss and not hurt their career. She takes out Deeb. She takes out Hayter. She takes out Athena. Goes after Storm, and then Hayter comes out with Britt Baker, and then that's when that whole thing happens.
Her and Thunder Rosa, and then her and Sheeta would be pretty good too, because those are also really good ones.
Yeah.
Underground, you're playing with my heartstrings, my guy or girl or whoever you are.
Guy.
I know. She's hurt. There's no reason they wouldn't pay her. I mean, they could bring her in as just a manager. They could do it. She probably would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But I hope she's cleared.
Yeah. I know Devin put in a comment. I lost faith in Tony building the women's division. I'm at a point where I believe it when I see it. I know.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't want to say I've lost faith. I'm not going to say I don't care about it. I care about it. I want to see it do well. But my heart's not going to break every time they have a 5-woman, 1 title, match every pay-per-view or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I making this up in my head, or a couple years ago? Yeah, maybe. I make a lot of stuff up in my head. But a couple years ago, during I guess the build towards the women's Royal Rumble matchup, one of them, either 2021 or 2020, wasn't there rumors that Paige may be making a return? Like she was checked by the doctor, she was saying she was cleared, and there was like some rumors that she may be in the Royal Rumble.
They were gonna bring her to the Royal Rumble, but she wasn't cleared yet. So
I believe her personal doctor said she was cleared.
Yeah,
but the WWE doctor
not WWE, her personal doctor.
Where shout out Modelo.
Yeah, that's right.
I love Modelo.
Mm-hmm. I had a long day. But yes, now it's time for the main event of the evening for Dynamite, because we finally get to get it. And then now everybody was happy. Everybody was ready for this. And, of course, That is for the AEW World Championship. And that is, of course, Jon Moxley versus Brian Danielson. Let's see. In a minute that I typed in the main event. Jon Moxley versus Brian Danielson. And what a match, I wanted to say. What a match.
This was definitely better than their pay-per-view match last year. What was it this year? Was it Revolution they had the matchup?
Yeah, it was Revolution.
Yeah, so earlier this year.
Between the belt and the Mox.
Hold on, I'm putting the word. I apologize. Okay, there you go.
It looks like it's going to be Mox and Chris versus Matt and Brian Danielson.
There we go. So there you go. And yes, I agree. This match was an instant classic. I can tell you that right now. I like that Moxley kind of out-wrestled Brian. I enjoyed it. She was cleared and pulled the last. Okay,
I thought there was some rumors about that. Yeah.
Okay, what page have to change the finishes? No, might as well call it a Rampage. Why not? Leave it that way. I wouldn't change it.
She only pulls out that finisher on Fridays.
There you go, on Fridays. But this was a great matchup overall. We got to see more of the wrestling style of Jon Moxley. We already know Brian's credentials, but we don't know much of Moxley because everybody has the other impression that Moxley is more of a brawler, more shooter, not much of a grappler, more of a ring technician that we've never seen of Moxley. And if you disagree with me, comment below because I have not seen that. I didn't see it when he was Dean Ambrose. I did not see it.
He was pushing fucking hot dog stands.
That's what he was doing, and slime on all over, on briefcases. So yeah, we saw that. But we never seen the in-ring technicality of Jon Moxley. But I know last week we all said Brian, but this, I guess, Moxley 3-time. And I know one of them is an intern, but I don't give a shit. I keep on saying it. No, Devin, it is not decided. He's a 3-time world champion because they're recognizing he's a 3-time world champion.
Well, he did beat Punk on Dynamite, and that made him like the official champion. So it is officially 3 times. It's not 2 in an interim. He's officially 3 times.
Thank you. But I
has officially lost the belt more than anybody else.
That's another way. That's the glass half empty way to look at it.
That's how I feel about this title win.
But man, I guess a lot of people were, myself as well included, that wanted Brian Danielson to win. But it makes sense why they headed toward this direction. But then again, it doesn't, because then a lot of people mentioning, what is the point of giving it to Moxley? You're going to have him taking it all the way to either Full Gear or Revolution for him to lose to the end. Mind you, we did say MJF needs to beat a superstar, a caliber star, like these two gentlemen here, of Brian and Moxley. But I know a lot of people digress that it doesn't make any sense that Moxley wins it and then loses it again to MJF. What about a TK pulls the trigger and said no? How about Moxley goes over MJF and swerve us at the end? We don't know that. We do not know that. But I'm just saying that. It's just only just a comment for it. But I understand. It doesn't make sense to me either. I think it would have made more sense with Brian winning, because there you get both the story with Brian and with MJF. That could have been your Brian Miz 2.0 in a way feud. But I don't know what direction they're going with this. But I'm happy overall, regardless of the results. The match was great. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. Seeing MJF with his chip on top of, sitting in his VIP area.
I love that.
Clutching it like it was a fucking rescue dog. He was just holding on to that motherfucker. He was holding on to it like it was a 24 title.
It looked like he was like a mobster, and like he with the cat, like he was like the Don, and he was petting his black cat.
Like Dr. Claw.
Right?
But I enjoyed it. I had nothing bad to say about this match. Congrats to Jon Moxley becoming, again, the 3-time, first ever 3-time AEW World Champion. So what's next after this, and what's next for Brian too? So I'll take it to you, Matt Callis. Go ahead, take it away.
I think the result of the match kind of shows how much Tony values, I guess, your tenure with him. Because I guess Moxley was there since day one. He was there at Double or Nothing. And I guess it's like the very start. And I mean, if you think in that terms, he deserves that title. But also the result kind of because a lot of people are saying it's going to be Brian Danielson versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor title once the show starts. And they're going to do that as like maybe either the first episode or or the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view after the TV deal happens.
He is one of the greatest ROH champions of all time.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. That's kind of why Danielson took this
You're
out.
saying, and you're a genius.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll second that.
But this results, yeah, I think is I think either they'll have the match on the first episode of the Ring of Honor show, or they're going to have the feud start on the first episode of the Ring of Honor show, and then BCC versus continuing with I don't know, maybe if they might even take the whole Jericho Appreciation Society to the Ring of Honor show, because I mean they've got the other belt on another member too. So I mean you got Anna Jay and Tay Conti could feud with Mercedes Martinez and whoever else. So there's a lot of things leading up that this is saying. The match itself, we really got to see. I think Moxley is going to be they're really selling the idea of Moxley as a submission wrestler now, because we knew him like hardcore, impact, DDTs, slams, stuff like that. And now he's doing more,
he went from brawler to technician like real quick.
Yeah, because Blackpool Combat. I think one of the things I'm really liking about the Blackpool Combat Club is kind of like, I think they're kind of seen as like the Spartan, like a very Spartan mentality. It's like what we do is fight. We live to fight. That whole kind of, I like it.
Combat. Yeah.
I mean, at this rate, they might as well get Gerard Butler in that club.
Why Gerard Butler? Why Gerard Butler?
300, Ivan. This is Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh my God.
I hate it.
Like on the one episode, like Gerard Butler's wrestling on Dynamite.
Oh God.
Oh my God. The ideas that you have.
Oh.
De Niro, take it away, my brother.
I actually think that this was an outcome that made the most sense. If you didn't have MJF, if he wasn't going to cash in the chip on this night to win the title at Grand Slam, then this makes the most sense, because you don't give Brian Danielson the title for the first time to be a transitional champion. It's clear that MJF is going to be the next
hold on
champion.
to that thought and then continue with it.
All right.
Just remember that he said that.
Yeah, so I think that for sure Brian Danielson wins the title and gets a lengthy reign. So you don't want to just take it off of him in the next month. I think for sure it's going to be Moxley versus MJF at Full Gear, and Moxley, being that this is his third time with the title, could be a transitional champion. It's not going to hurt him. So with that being said, MJF is going to win the title in November at Full Gear. If this is Brian Danielson, his first reign, and it's only about a month, I feel like that's going to hurt him. So I think that eventually we have the Brian Danielson MJF feud, but it's just as MJF is champion. And then eventually down the line, Brian Danielson could beat MJF for the title, but down the line. But yeah, making Brian Danielson the transitional champion, I think that would hurt him a lot. So I feel like it made sense for Moxley to win the title here.
Okay.
But the match was fucking amazing too.
Oh,
definitely an amazing match.
The match was insane. I really enjoyed it. Director, the floor is yours.
The only reason I like that Mox has the belt is because when Brian gets that belt, he's going to hold it for like 5 years. I think I said that last time I was on the show, and that would not make sense. That would not make sense knowing that the signature on the new contract of MJF coming back was contingent of he's getting that belt. I think that was the money thing was probably easier for Tony Khan to agree upon. I think it was, and the belt. That was the asterisk on that contract, and Daniel Bryan Brandon Danielson would not be a transitional champion at all. I think this is going to be Mox's last run. I hope, because you can't have three championship 3 times in the 3 years
he's still the GCW champion right now. He's the GCW.
Joey Janela, is he doing anything right now?
He's in Indies. GCW,
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
He's just in House of Glory.
Yeah, but is GCW like active and people care and it's like what's going on over there?
Yeah, it's the number 4 promotion in the USA.
Okay, I remember he was going through some shit. I didn't know what happened with that, but cool, good to know. Yeah, great match. Obviously, when is MJF going to cash that in? Who knows? Could be soon. It could be. I mean, I have no idea. He obviously has the firm, so he's getting it no matter what. He could literally have the firm attack during a match, beat the fuck out of both of them. That match ends in a DQ. But then he has to cash it in during that match. So the logistics are the same as Money in the Bank. It has to be during the match, not like beat them up, DQ, and then start a new match. So either way, it's happening. It's just a matter when. And then I like the Ring of Honor Jericho thing with Brian. That'd be cool. I think that would definitely jumpstart Ring of Honor as a physical entity again. And especially that should happen.
With a Ring of Honor legend like Brian Danielson being on that show, it would really add to the style.
That company and that wrestler built each other, for sure.
In my opinion, he's the greatest Ring of Honor star of all time. Like, what got me into Ring of Honor? Like, I was falling out of wrestling. I fucking watched the Ring of Honor show when I was falling out of wrestling, and Brian Danielson is the reason why I still watch wrestling. So, like, I always said, he's Ring of Honor, like Mr. Ring of Honor to me. Yeah.
So those are my thoughts. I don't like that Mox has a belt, but it makes sense because I think there's going to be bigger, better things for Danielson and MJF. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Moxie. I forgot Nick Gage for the GCW World Title, career versus title in 2 weeks. That's for sure. MJ, Brian Danielson, the date contracts up 24, reliving the CM Punk May, but that's a long time from now. I don't know if we can hold it for like that long, unless there is no not Chip.
I don't want an MJF storyline to last that long. They already last too fucking long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every storyline for MJF is 6 months minimum.
Yeah. They always just don't end.
It's always with the storyline. Oh, next week I'll pick your opponent.
The 9 trials of Jericho lasted literally 9 weeks. Holy fucking shit!
You got to see Juventud.
And I cannot wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow, no spoilers. Tomorrow, of course,
no spoilers.
Spoilers, because we're gonna watch this event. As a matter of fact,
I'm looking at you, Underground Temple.
Yes, do not know. No spoilers. No spoilers, Dan. Don't know, because Matt does thing, and we need to make sure he does not know anything.
That Cargill Diamante match is gonna steal the show.
Hell yeah.
You know what? I think that Jungle Boy and Ray Phoenix.
I know. I think it'll hold itself though. I think it'll hold up. I say don't sleep on it.
Yeah, and Wardlow Joe. I wouldn't mind seeing them feud with each other.
I would be fucking violent. Is that for the? Oh, that's a tag match. I thought that was.
It's between them versus.
It's not for a title, right?
No, it's just only. Oh, I'm looking forward to see Action Bronson too.
I thought it was Wardlow versus Joe for the title, which that needs to be next. That's probably what's going to happen after that match.
That Battle Royal too. That Battle Royal, whoever gets the golden ticket will face the champion as well of John Moxley. And you have Eddie Kingston and now Sammy Guevara. The real feud that they finally forgave each other. Now they're continuing with the feud. So I am looking forward to how that's going to turn out. That is for sure.
It's like Action Bronson reminds me of Action Jackson. Imagine if they actually got Carl Weathers just to show up.
Oh, God.
Hey, man. No. Stubbs lost his hand in a terrible golfing alligator accident. I don't think he's making it out.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Remember that gator that got your hand? I got his head.
The hips. It's all in the hips.
The best part of that whole movie is when he says, "I'm a hockey player," and then Chubb says, "You won't give that shit up. You're gonna play golf." Like, imagine just walking up to somebody you don't know, like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" You won't give that shit up.
Go play golf.
Yeah, to play golf.
Just out of nowhere.
Miss, make it die.
Oh. I think we all talked about it in the chat, but I don't think people have seen us video talk about this, or heard us in the audio platforms as well.
Yeah,
this is announced over the weekend press conference in Vegas. It's going to happen. Crown Jewel, the main event. Logan Paul.
Okay, I love you guys. We're over. It's 10:15 PST. You guys moved on to some bullshit, and I will see you guys next week.
Tomorrow.
Love you, bro.
Tomorrow. We love you, bro. much for tuning in.
I wish I could do that for this too, because this is also
This has
my nose doing that. This is
come on, Dan. I said no spoilers. I thought a female was gonna win it. Damn it.
I don't give a good.
I didn't see it. It went by too fast. So.
Well, I mean,
he just said a guy wrestler won the battle royal.
All right. So I mean, Crown Jewel main event was announced. Roman, Matt's BFF, Logan Paul. I tell you that right now. We talked about it in the chat.
Made for YouTube movies. I just kept showing. I just kept showing. Nobody saw that roller skating movie he was in. Nobody. What the hell was that movie even about?
I like the picture you sent of you in the background of the movie.
I saw
Yeah, we should have.
He starve you or something, like you said. Like he starved you guys, and you guys are in the heat.
Served us only Little Caesars pizza. We should have dropped him. Like we were holding him up, crowd surfing. We should have dropped Logan Paul on his head that night. We should have. Oh, whoops! and then history would have been different. We wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't have been talking about if I told all the other extras just to drop him on his head. Guys, shh. The PAs aren't looking. Just do it quickly.
Yeah. So we got now this event for Crown Jewel being the main event. A lot of people are not happy about the main event. About the whole week since the announcement, since we've already got it. I know you're not happy about it, but I know you're not. But I know this guy
pissed. Nah, I'm not too.
I
just don't like it.
No, I want to just get out of my way from my. It makes sense, marketing wise, business wise. You just had a Triple G Canelo fight just recently. You just had a Grand Slam, looking at that boxing event because of all the camera views, and now you're gonna have a TikToker or YouTuber who's a high caliber, of course, versus the Tribal Chief. We done won, so Tribal Chief. It's gonna. I don't know if they want to head to pushing Logan Paul, making him as a face by putting him with the Tribal Chief himself. I don't think that will work because the Tribal Chief is gonna whoop that ass. I'll tell you that right now. But Roman Reigns is gonna make him look good, and he's gonna put him over. So I'm not mad about it. I'm okay with it. He needs a hump. He needs a little extra hump to it. I know he doesn't deserve a title shot. I get that, but he's gonna get recognized in this fight, and at least it's not happening in the States. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's not happening here. Because imagine what happened here. Roman would have gotten the cheers more than Logan Paul. I'll tell you that right now. So yes, we all forget that Logan Paul pretending that yeah. Exactly. Yes. Why people are crying about this for yeah, I know, Devin. I know. So that's what
acknowledge me.
We do acknowledge you for that. But I'm not mad about it. I'm invested. The only thing I've been saying is I know the press conference kind of began. Oh, I am the table. I'm sorry. I have
to that from Kanye. Hold that line from.
I got something to say. He is Ivan. He is the table. He's the table I put my drinks on in craft services. He's the
Roman would have said, "Oh, you're the table where I put my belts on top." And I'm like, "Oh, here you go."
Shout out to Manscaped, the table I put my ball deodorant on.
There you go. But De Niro, I mean, what were we gonna say? I apologize. I kind of interrupted you. What were we gonna say?
Oh no.
He stole that line from who?
Oh, he stole that shit from Kanye West. Oh. Go check out the fucking song "Easy" by The Game and Kanye West. Kanye said, "How do you say I've never brought nothing to the table when I'm the table?" That's a new song that just came out not too long ago. And then this motherfucker saying, "I'm the table." Bro, you're not original. You're stealing shit from Ye. Fuck out of here.
You should hear his brother's his brother's raps is like his brother's rap. He has a bar that's like, "I'm back with that Disney Channel flow." Like what the
his brother's trash too. I hope Anderson Silva knocks him the fuck out.
Yes. And I hope it's fast too. I hope it's 2 seconds.
Word.
That's not gonna happen. Logan is not gonna win. Austin Theory is not gonna catch him that day. No, I don't see that.
That'll be trash.
I would not. Oh man, I'll be Hopefully that happens. But
pull the plug on this, Triple H, please.
Yo, I got something to what's called. I want to say that I was watching Young Anthony on Turnbuckle Tavern, and he said, a lot of people say who deserves and who doesn't deserve. Just say you don't like the guy. He's right. I'll say it. I don't fucking like Logan Paul, and that's the reason why I don't want to see this matchup. I don't fucking like the guy. He's a piece of shit. So whether he deserves it or not, that's not for me to say. But
he's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. I could say that. But that's my opinion on this. I think that honestly, whether it's a throwaway pay-per-view or not, or PLE, I think that fucking Roman Reigns should fucking just run through this dude.
He's gonna play
it's for Saudi, you know what I mean? Another thing that I wasn't even thinking about, I just mentioned Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. I believe Tim King brought it up on the Wrestling Delorean, and he said that I believe it's like later on that month or within the same week that you have that matchup between Anderson Silva and Jake Paul. So maybe this is to capitalize on that too, because that's getting a lot of attention right now.
It's MMA, not boxing, right?
I believe it's boxing, yeah.
Oh, it's boxing. If it was MMA, man, him in a triangle and hit.
Yeah, but yo, Anderson Silva got some nasty hands back in the day. I mean, I don't know if he still does, but he had some nasty hands. But all I'm going to say is it's I think it's around the same time period. So this is maybe WWE also trying to capitalize off of that clout right now. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like the press conference. I thought that was pretty dope. Logan Paul, he's good on the mic, and he's talented in the ring. I just can't. Maybe if he was a heel, right? Like, I feel like as a babyface, he's like the most unnatural babyface because he even admits that he's like a real life piece of shit. So, like, why not just make him a fucking piece of shit on TV? It would be more realistic for him to be a heel than a babyface. So I feel like that's the only thing that's like not believable. Like when Logan Paul first came in with The Miz and he was tagging with The Miz, that was the most believable Logan Paul was on WWE television because he wasn't putting up a front. He wasn't being a good guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like there's too much shit that I don't respect that this man did before he even got to the WWE. And I'm not talking about being in MMA and all that shit. I'm talking about his stupid fucking vlogs in Japan and disrespecting fucking people and being a real piece of shit. That's the reason why I'll never fucking support this guy. I don't care if he could do a fucking frog splash to the fucking... He could do a frog splash out of my fucking TV. Fuck this dude.
Yeah, see, I was going to say it, Dan, but you already beat me to it. So,
burgers.
Yeah, so it's around the same month. So it's going to be...
so November 29th and then November 5th is Crown Jewel. So it's like right around the corner. So it's like
it's going to capitalize on that.
Don't be surprised. Oh, my God. If I see Roman walking out with Anderson Silva and you see Logan walking out with his brother, that fight, then it's a setup for sure to build up everything overall. So, I mean, it's a work. I would say it's a work. Which
Dana and Triple H are having lunch together.
I'd rather see Bad Bunny in this role, to be honest.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't mind either Bad Bunny either. But I don't mind this one either as much as before. I don't think it wasn't the press conference that got to me. The only thing I'm just curious to see, this is a test for his charisma. That's why I feel like his mic skills and his charisma are going to be in a test because, look, Roman has improved for the last 2 years in his mic skills since the last time he had a mic battle with John Cena after John Cena
doing the whole succotash
2 minutes. This is going to be something intriguing to see because I want to see where the story heads to as we're heading to Crown Jewel. He has the whole month of October, and I cannot wait, to see it. I'm just curious. And
the whole premise of this match is stupid too because it's like Roman Reigns was on his podcast. They show mad love and respect to each other, and then on the podcast, Logan Paul says, as he's talking, I think I could beat him. All right, so now let's fucking run with that and make this match like. Because Logan Paul says, I think I could beat somebody on his fucking podcast. This is a podcast. I think let me not go there.
Just do it. Just do it.
It's me with the girl, the Rottweiler while he's asleep.
I need to pull that say it card to the neuro.
Fuck Logan Paul. Nah, here's the thing. Like, I'll tell you this right now. Like I said, in the ring, he has a good base. Like I was mentioning on the DeLorean with Tim King, I said he has a good base, right? But even the match with The Miz where everyone's fucking praising this guy and fucking kissing his ass saying, oh my God, he's such a great wrestler. I mean, the guy, to me, it looked like he has talent but needs work, because the guy was rushing all his moves, going from one thing to another, not selling, not fucking letting anything breathe. He needs to slow it down a little bit before he gets pushed in a matchup against the top guy for the top title in the top organization in the industry. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, I'm not mad at him getting a title shot, but 2 matches into your wrestling career, not saying you don't deserve it, because, you know, like I said, and I'm not going to say someone doesn't deserve a title shot in a fake sport, right? But I'll tell you this right now. I think that it's just not going to look good when you're outclassed and outmatched in the ring and everyone's expecting a good matchup.
Okay.
If you have a bunch of eyes on this, say everybody tunes in now because this is going to get mad media press. If you have a bunch of eyes on this, then people see you fucking like flop. That's going to look bad on the company. And on top of that, the argument that everybody's fucking making about, oh, well, Logan Paul brings eyes to the product, that's 100% bullshit, because every time Logan Paul was on Raw or SmackDown, the ratings did not go up at all. The ratings stayed the same. So don't tell me that Logan Paul is such a fucking draw. He's not a draw, all right? If he was a draw, then you would see a spike in the ratings every time Logan Paul was announced for Raw or SmackDown. Even for the Raw in Madison Square Garden, the ratings actually went down that week, and Logan Paul was announced that week. So don't tell me that, oh, well, he's going to bring a lot of eyes to the product, because they're not there yet. And if he's going against the top dog and he's going to peak his 3rd match in and he's still not getting eyes to the product, don't tell me that, oh, well, this is to get eyes to the product. It's not working.
Guess where those eyes still are, Mike? They're just still on his YouTube channel, and they're still on the TikTok.
On his podcast. And his podcast is not bringing eyes to Raw. It's not bringing eyes to SmackDown.
They don't even watch TV. They don't even know what channel Raw's on.
Pat McAfee draws more than Logan Paul, besides his podcast and on SmackDown, because I know I heard Young Anthony what he said on a turnbuckle. He did say he draws more money than The Rock. When he said that, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, Young Anthony. You said that. You're crossing the line there.
Young Anthony said, "What did The Rock do to deserve a title shot?"
Yeah, I heard that. I need to have him on the show.
I am dying. All due respect, I fucking respect Young Anthony, and I'm a fan of his show. I'm a fan of everything he does. Like, real talk, his hustle for his age is awesome. But I am begging you, Young Anthony, to find time, whether it's on the DeLorean or here on Circle of Debate, come debate me about this fucking topic. Please, come debate me. Let's not do the fucking talking back and forth on fucking message boards and on fucking DMs. Come on, let's have a conversation. I respect your opinion, but I want to have a conversation with you on this fucking show.
How about, Mike, let's make this a tag team match. Let's see if Anthony can get a tag team partner. I'll be your tag team partner for this one. I'm able to get the time, though.
And like I said, I got nothing but respect for Young Anthony. I just know that we had very different opinions about this. I would love to have him on. I would love to like debate it. I know he's busy. I know he was talking about like he has, he doesn't have much time right now. But dude, you tell me when you're available and I'll make time. I'll put on the show whenever it is. Like, I did the same shit for Jeremy Prophet. Big fan of Jeremy Prophet. Thanks for doing that show with me. I don't do the DeLorean on Tuesdays. He told me he was available on Tuesday. Yeah, me too. I hope he gets that Jericho match. But what's it called? He said he's available Tuesdays. I put the show on a Tuesday. So tell me when you're available, bro, because I would love to have you on.
Definitely. I am looking forward to see how that goes. But yeah, I digress on that one. Jesus. But all right, let's move on. I want to move on to now Survivor Series now adding, what is it, Matt? What are they adding?
War games.
There you go. Thank you, because he can say it better than me.
Blood.
War games. Not blood. Just a war games.
WWE blood and guts.
Man, I am happy. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this. And obviously the question is who they're going to add on it. Should it be the bloodline? Should it not be? Should it be the bloodline without Roman or with Roman? I mean, there's a female ones too. I'm curious to know. I mean, 2-part question. I mean, I'll take it to you first, Matt Callis, to give it to De Niro. Are you excited for War Games? And who would you put on this War Games?
I don't think I've been looking at the product as closely as I should be. I didn't do my homework, but I'll say I am excited for War Games.
Okay, definitely. De Niro, how about yourself?
I'm very excited for War Games. I think that this is a great move. Ever since they brought it back a couple years ago and it was in NXT, I thought that it's only a matter of time that they bring it up to the main roster. It's going to be awesome. I think that Survivor Series is the perfect event for it. I also love how Triple H announced that Survivor Series this year is going to be more storyline based and not Raw versus SmackDown. That's going to be awesome because that's like the original Survivor Series concept. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I think that it would be cool if they continue to build up the feud between the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes. Have maybe Drew McIntyre join the Brawling Brutes, or not join them, but like at least align with them, and then have Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos versus Butch, Ridge Holland, Sheamus, and Drew in War Games. That would be phenomenal.
Man, there's a lot of things they could do on this one. I mean, it's hard because I can see Bloodline. This is my storyline very quick. Give me Bloodline versus Lashley, Riddle, Gargano, Owens, and a mystery opponent. Why Gargano? Experience in that he's already familiar with War Games.
Yeah.
He's been there more than once.
And if he's now teaming with Kevin Owens, then it'll make sense too.
And then you can have Lashley feuding with Solo, now heading for, since he said, "Oh, I got my eye on a belt that he wants." Could be the U.S. Championship, and that's going to be something really, really intriguing to see. Lashley and Solo going a feud at it. I will love that. And then you have Sammy, of course, and Kevin Owens besides Gargano. But this is where you can see Sammy making a decision: Bloodline or his best friend Kevin Owens. And then what about he gets pinned? They lose, right? And what about then? This is where you see Sammy turning face, teaming with Owens, heading into the next event, either a Mania, them winning the tag team titles from the Usos. That'll be a great story to build from there. I think if they head that direction. I
think another cool possibility would be the Bloodline versus Imperium. That would be awesome. I think that Imperium is next in line. I was about to say Walter. Gunther versus Roman Reigns is a match I really want to see. I know they're probably not going to pull the trigger on that. But if Solo Sikoa has his eye on the title, I think that it should be the IC champion, because Gunther's last match in NXT, he lost to Solo Sikoa. Solo beat Gunther in NXT. So I believe since he lost his last matchup to Solo Sikoa, it would be cool to see Solo Sikoa and Gunther do that again on the main roster and maybe start a feud with Imperium and then build that to know, well, when Survivor Series? It's the first week of November?
I believe so. I think it's the first. I think it's right after, 2 weeks after, I believe. Well, let me double check. I know Crown Jewel is on November 5th. When it's Survivor Series, the date on that one, they haven't mentioned it. Oh, November 26th.
All right, so yeah, you have a couple months to build it. I don't know. I think that would be awesome, but yeah, I think if you're going to put this in the main event, you want to put all your like top talents in there. I would do Bloodline versus, like you said, you probably book it out to be fucking Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. The endless possibilities. What if they go the Raw side? What if you have Judgment Day instead of the Bloodline, and then you do maybe like 3 guys and the girl, or maybe we've seen the possibility of AJ Styles might join Judgment Day. You could do AJ Styles with Judgment Day. That's 4 guys against Rey Mysterio, Edge, and then 2 other guys, Kevin Owens maybe, like, or Riddle, because I know Riddle's now feuding with Judgment Day. Kind of, it's very interesting. One thing that I think that you do here, if this is the route they're going to go, I think that maybe we see The Rock, not in side of War Games, but maybe have The Rock come out. If you remember, The Rock is, what was it? His debut was in Survivor Series, so I think there's like 21 years or some shit like that, right? Have The Rock come out, maybe go face to face with Roman Reigns, and then you can start building towards WrestleMania, if that's the route that they go. But I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. But all I know is I'm very happy that this is on the main roster. It's going to be awesome.
I know. I am looking forward. I'm excited for it, and I just cannot wait. And okay, then we have this horse, who is this White Rabbit. Oh, looks like Matt Callis.
Okay.
Probably technical difficulty with Matt Callis, but he'll be back on. But yes, we have the White Rabbit segment here. Everybody's saying it's Bray Wyatt. I mean, it has to be. I don't know who else could it be. Could it be? Oh, Bloodline versus Owens, Gargano saying, "Yep, that could be happening too. Yeah. That would be cool." But Drew is busy with carrying Cross, though. That's the thing. So we don't know how they're gonna book that. But yes, his signal cut out. He said, technically, yes, his signal cut out. But I mean, what do you think, De Niro? Should this be Bray Wyatt? I mean, we've been seeing it now, and we saw it on Anaheim here in California. The aftermath. I mean, talk to me, baby. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that this would be awesome for Bray Wyatt. I do see a lot of people thinking it's Karrion Kross. I don't get that. Karrion Kross already returned, so like, why would you build this up to be someone who's already in the company and on TV? I think that this has to be for a big return or a big surprise. We see that they're playing. The Jefferson Airplane song? Is it White Rabbit?
Yeah.
So the Jefferson Airplane song is playing during commercial breaks and at live events, which is so fucking awesome because that song is amazing. And if that is Bray Wyatt's theme song when he comes back, that's going to be such a cool package to have him coming out to that song. I think that I love all the subliminal shit that they're doing with the QR code and all that. I think that, if you look at, they're doing Hangman, like the game Hangman, and it said demon, but the word was like you did. Right. And then people were bringing back like an old interview that Bray Wyatt had with Michael Cole, like back in 2014, where he was like, you did. Who destroyed this world? You did. Who brought me whatever? Like, and he kept on saying you did. So it would make sense to bring back the Bray Wyatt character. With that being said, I think that it's going to be awesome. I don't know. Like, I'm excited. People are pointing towards tomorrow, because tomorrow's the 23rd and it said 9/23. But then if you look, like, it went from a date to a time, right? Like it showed the two dots, right? Or what is that? A semicolon or a colon? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like almost like a semicolon, two dots.
Yeah, it showed the two dots. So it said 9/23, and so maybe it's not tomorrow. Maybe he comes out whenever. But then, like, if you look at the time, it's gonna be like 9/23 Eastern or whatever, right? So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I think that if it's Bray Wyatt, it's going to be fucking awesome, and the crowd's going to go ballistic. Who was the first QR code person again?
Yeah, that's
23rd. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Who was the first QR code that did that first? I don't remember. Who? That's a good question.
Are you talking about like on Raw? Like, I know on Raw, someone screenshotted a part where there was a backstage interview and there was a QR code. But I also saw during one of the matches, there was a guy walking through the crowd with the QR code as well. That's where I saw the QR code. I paused it and I did that on the phone for that part. But I just love the shit. Like, it's not like just a vignette, like, oh, look who's coming. I love that they're making you work. Like, I love that shit. Like, this is the shit that Triple H is doing that no one else is doing. They're making you look into things and getting you invested because he's making you work for it. Like, oh, there's a QR code. Let me find out what that's about. Instead of just saying, oh, let me play this video package in between segments on Raw. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, like, it's the small, subtle stuff that he's doing. A couple weeks ago, having Dexter Lumis in the background, and it's like, you're not supposed to see it, but if you look closely, he's there. Like, stuff like that is so cool. So Triple H right now is really innovative with his booking and his writing style. I love it.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love it. Yeah, I do remember that underground. Yeah, White Rabbit was Karrion Kross. Unless he's going back to that gimmick, maybe so. And if he does,
bring back Paul London.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's a good question. So I'm looking forward to see how tomorrow SmackDown and Rampage. Oh man, there's so much. Which we're almost there. We're almost towards the end, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget tomorrow, which I forgot to mention. Had a long day, and that is you have Impact Victory Road live, of course, on Impact Plus. And on Fight TV, you're going to have those incredible matches. There's, of course, you're going to have Honor No More, I guess, versus, let's see, he's Josh Alexander and Rick Swann. Jordan Grace versus, Moxie and Taylor. That's going to be an interesting match.
That is Father James Mitchell, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, he's going to be there. And, of course, you have the three-way Barbed Wire Massacre, Steve Macklin, Sami Callihan, and Moose. I'm looking forward for that. And you're gonna have Mickie James. Who's Mickie James fighting again? I couldn't really see who's that individual girl. That looks.
That's Giselle Shaw.
Oh, Shaw, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. And then we have, let's see, the triple threat revolver. That's something that, who is that fighting on? The triple threat revolver. Let's see. Who?
I see Frankie Kazarian. I see Alex Zane. I see you got Kenny King. You got Trey Miguel. You got Black Taurus. You got Mia Yim. I believe that's Laredo Kid.
Yes, that is Laredo Kid. You're right.
Crazy. You got Speedball Mike Bailey in there. Oh no, that's not Mike Bailey. Who's that?
Let's see.
You got Mike Bailey versus Delirious.
Yes, you have that, and you have Priscilla Kelly versus versus
Killer Kelly.
Killer Kelly. There you go. Sorry, my apologies. Versus Tasha Steelz, and that's going to be an interesting match. Yes, I heard it was a good Impact, man. I know we have a lot to cover.
Impact is so fucking good every week, man. The most consistent show that nobody talks about.
Agreed, and that's where we have the issues. We're trying, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying.
There's so much
to watch. It was good shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I'm looking forward for that. Make sure you guys watch that Friday.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, Yuya's in the match. Okay, so that triple revolver.
All right.
Oh,
yeah, I couldn't tell who that was. Like I was.
So it's Kenny King, Laredo Kid, Alex Zane, Trey Miguel, Torres, Mia, Yuya, Frankie Kazarian, and Mia Yim. Okay, so the winner gets to a challenge for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. Okay, so that's what we get. Okay, awesome. That's gonna be really, really awesome. I'm gonna have to watch that this weekend for sure. There's a lot of things we gotta watch. We still gotta watch New Japan Burning Spirit this weekend, and we're back with New Japan shows coming Tuesday. We got to discuss the predictions and the recap for Burning Spirit and for Royal Quest. We're heading to next week already, the end of September, heading to October 1st for Royal Quest over the weekend. And then, of course, we do have October 21st, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget our sponsorships. And that's right, fellow sponsorship. That is PCW Ultra Set in Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to PCWUltra.com, purchase your tickets, because that's going to be a fantastic. We're going to have main event once again is going to be defended since we know that Karrion Kross would not be participating since he signed with WWE back. So the championship will be defended in an Ultra Vault match. Hammerstone will be defending the PCW Ultra Heavyweight Championship in a fatal 4-way. And the announcement is coming soon of who the participants are. I believe they already announced some of the participants. But once again, if you want to go to PCWUltra.com, go to their social medias, buy your tickets now. We will be there, and be square, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be there. It's, obviously we're sponsoring this event, and there's going to be a lot of great matches. Of course, and we haven't seen this man in the States in 2 years, and that is a great Puma who will be making his return to PCW as he will be competing against Shane Haste. Of course, we're sponsoring the matchup of Lucas Riley versus Casey Navarro. And, of course, you have Viva Van, who will be facing Sumi Sakai. Sumi Sakai's retirement is coming, and that is for the PCW Ultra Women's Championship. So make sure you go to PCWUltra.com and purchase your tickets. Do not forget, purchase them. And also don't forget our merch, ladies and gentlemen. Our merch coming soon. More merch is coming. The Wrestling Deloreans, of course, podcast merch will be coming as well. So stay tuned for that. You will be seeing that. Make sure you purchase and click on our link tree on our bio, and then go to the merch store. And pretty soon we will have special ones coming up for Halloween. So make sure you tune in for that, ladies and gentlemen. And that is it for this evening. This was a 2.5-hour show. But we had a lot to stack in here. A lot that we had to. And, it's been a while, especially for the director, Ed Matt Callis, and myself. But, of course, the host right here with the most is holding it down here on the COD with the Wrestling Delorean every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and even Tuesdays how we did it. So, wow. I commend this man.
Commend you, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, I appreciate you, man. And I'll tell you this right now. Ivan is the hardest working guy in podcasting, and you inspire me, honestly.
Oh.
That's the truth.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. We appreciate all of you guys for hanging in there with us for 2 hours and a half. And also, if you're listening on audio platforms as well, thank you so much. Y very quick in Spanish. Mis señoras y señores, muchas gracias por escucharnos aquí. 2 horas y media aquí en Cerca Debate, pero no se olviden de suscribir a nuestro canal de YouTube para que los mire aquí los jueves y viernes. Y de Wrestling Delorean cada lunes, miércoles y viernes también. A trooper. Yes. Yes. Great. I appreciate you guys. Dave Clark Street, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to Clark Street, subscribe to Cage My IQ, Underground Temple. Everybody that was here today, thank you so much for taking the time. For a couple
appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you guys very, very much. Para todos, saludos a Latinoamérica, de Colombia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Honduras, Salvador, México, Puerto Rico, y praying for Puerto Rico because I know everything was going on over there. Jesus, it's bad.
I got a lot of family over there. Shit's crazy over there right now. Definitely sent out to Puerto Rico.
I'm hoping that, hoping this audio will help you at least kind of get I know I'm not going to say it because completely, but keep your mind up of things a little bit and wish you guys for the best. And man, it's an unfortunate. It is an unfortunate. For all European listeners as well, guten Tag, me get steered. Tschüss. Yes. And shout out to Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, and Czech Republic, Sweden, all of you guys out there in the UK as well. Thank you so much. All over the European countries for listening to us as well. Shout out to India as well. And shout out to Fiji as well, and the Philippines as well. Shout out to all of my Filipino familia. I know you guys speak a little bit Spanish. Yeah, I know you guys do. But yes, and I'm going to pass it to De Niro to tell everybody here in the States, for all of our audio platform listeners, let them know, De Niro.
Hit that subscribe button because we are putting out content every single day. We have a lot of content. We got Circle Debate every Tuesday now with the New Japan show featuring our homie Dan from Cage My IQ. We have the Wednesday MMA show. Thursday, we got the flagship show. And Friday, we have Top 5, the Countdown show. And then every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this channel, we also have the Wrestling Delorean Podcast. I love doing what I do, and I couldn't do it without, Circle Debate giving me that opportunity. So I really appreciate it. Check out tomorrow, Wrestling Delorean Podcast, 7 o'clock Eastern, with my homie Nick from the Universal Wrestling Podcast. He's going to be on. He's a special guest. We'll be talking about AEW. I'm sure we're going to be talking about a lot more. He has a big announcement earlier in the day, so we'll be talking about that as well. And then check out Top 5 later on tomorrow night. We'll be talking about Wrestling Society X, Top 5 moments. There was, I don't care if people love it or hate it. I was a Wrestling Society X kid. So definitely we'll be talking about Wrestling Society X. Also, I need to defend my MMA title.
That's right, because he won a Tapology title right here. So, yes, that's right.
Respect to the champ, Dan. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody who rides with Circle Debate, everybody who rides with the Wrestling Delorean Podcast. I call them my Wrestling Delorean passengers. What do we call the fans here of Circle Debate? Our debaters?
The debaters.
Word. The debaters. The passengers. We appreciate you all, everybody who shows love from all over the world. Love you guys. Thank you so much. It's because of you that we do this shit. So keep on showing love. Make sure you subscribe and spread the word because we are working on this channel.
Absolutely. Yes, we are. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go, of course, it's the outro one.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
I like that. The great debaters.
Great debaters. Better than the masturbators.
Oh, man.
MA. Sorry.
Hey, TVMA. That's what it is, right? Exactly. So, I mean.
To this day. To this day.
To this day. That's right. But yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for tuning in. This is the host of Divas When I've Been C. And of course, my other host here, mi hermano, Mike De Niro, letting everybody know, especially around
the world, Craig. Shit, not just the city, the world.
Letting everybody know that
it's almost 2 o'clock here. I get a little weird when I'm tired.
Because here on the Circle Debate, the Wrestling Delorean, the League of Extraordinary Podcast, the Wolfpack out there, let's all do podcasting. We all make fucking history.
Will over and over. Make over and over history.